Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you're coming from. This is your absolute permission to be rich. This is now the very first one of these. We are going to create a legacy because I have literally sifted through thousands and thousands of people to literally bring you the best. I have watched these people over the last few years. I have watched their results. I see their clients getting results, and I want you to get the same. So I just had this brilliant idea. Well, it wasn't mine, it was given to me, and I thought I would just bring this to you. So welcome to have you here. If you've got any other people that you think need some permission, because you're asking, but you're not getting, and some of you do get, but there's still no permission to receive. And that's what we want to investigate here today. So who am I? Just to quickly get you in there. I'm Sheena Cant. You will find out more about me as we go through this week. So I'm so excited today to literally get this kicking and running. And I call it a marathon. It's a marathon. I want you to put us in your ear for the next 4 hours, and I want you to walk around and listen to every word that everybody is saying to you, because trust me, what they're saying is coming from their heart. I know what it's like. You know, some people say like, oh, permission to be rich. And somebody said to me, how can you be rich in 3 days, Sheena? And I just said, well, if you decide that you're going to be rich in 3 days, then you will be rich in 3 days. But I know what happens. There's a lot of rubbish that gets in the way. And I am the person who's going to bring you the science. So not a lot of science today, because I'm going to introduce everybody as we go through these next 4 hours. And I want you to be paying attention. So get on with me tomorrow afternoon, same time, 4 o'clock UK time. And I'm going to explain the science behind permission, because I know exactly what's going on in your brain. You see, that's what we deal with here. We deal with the root cause behind your results. We know this. Every single person who's going to talk to you today knows the root cause of your results. And you say to me, well, you can't know me. You don't know me. I've been through this. I've been through that. I have been through the other. Trust me. We know who you are. We see through every single thing. And I want to help you see that. Now, one of the things that I heard said was, you cannot help the poor by being poor. Reverend Dyke said that. Let me say that again. You cannot help the poor by being poor. What do we mean by that? If you look on somebody and you see them as poor, then that's a decision in your mind, and they are poor, and they will feel poor around you. It doesn't have to be anything to do with money. It doesn't have to be somebody sitting on the street. It could be your children. It could be a family member. It could be just some randomer that you see walking past you. If you think that, then that is your perception, that is your experience, and that is what that person will feel. This may go over your head to some people. You may not actually like it, what I have to say, because I speak the truth and I speak honesty. And if you don't like it, that's okay too, because that's your truth. We're here, everybody, to find our truth, but you will know that something is resonating. You will absolutely 100% know that something is resonating. And I want you to pay attention to what rises in you whenever any of us speak. And if we say something that you don't agree with, drop your opinions, drop your judgment. I want you to be completely open and honest, non-judgmental, and stop with the opinions, because they're in the past. Trust me, they are in the past. So if you look at somebody and you see their potential, then they will show you that potential. I promise you, with every bone in my body, if you see potential in someone, don't treat people how they're treating themselves. It could be rubbish. Can you please see through that? You see, rich is not a figure. Rich is a feeling. So you can be rich right here, right now, if you choose to be. Can you do that? Can you feel rich right here, right now? Can you finally stop wanting, and trying to get, and realize that you have everything you ever wanted right here? Oh, I can hear some arguments coming up. But Sheena, I haven't got this and I haven't got that. I know. And we're here to sort through all of that. You see, most of it is just down to your programming, your genetic programming. And I'm going to go through that tomorrow. So you better be on at 4 o'clock tomorrow with me. I'm going to take you through your genetic programming and why you're not giving yourself permission. So listen, here's the thing about permission. Let me tell you a wee story. So there's this man and he's in this beautiful house and he's prays to God every single day. And so a flood comes and he gets a warning from the police. The police come and they say, sir, you need to leave your house. And he goes, no, I've prayed to God and he's coming to save me. Okay, great, didn't leave. So the flood rises, he ends up going to the first floor. Along comes the boat, the police on a boat, and they're saying, sir, get in the boat. It's just rising. He goes, no, God said he would save me. I've asked God to save me. So there you go. He didn't go. So guess what? The flood waters rose and rose and rose until he was on the roof of his house. They sent him a helicopter. And they said, get in the helicopter. And he went, no, I've prayed to my God and he will come and he will save me. Well, guess what? It washed the house away and washed him as well. Now he ends up at the pearly gates of heaven. And he says, my God, why did you forsake me? And he said, I sent you the policeman. I sent you a boat. I sent you a helicopter. Do you get the idea? No one is coming to save you. No one. You are your own savior. And you need to give yourself permission. I promise. That is the start of the journey. That's why we've called this permission to be rich, permission to feel rich, permission to feel prosperous, permission to feel abundant. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you put this in here? Hands up. Who wants to feel rich? Say it, comments, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching this from, because we're on all platforms. Put your hand up and just say, yes, I want permission to be rich. I give myself permission to be rich. Will you do that? Will you do that? Not just for you, but for the people around you. Who benefits because you give yourself permission? We're not here to be misers' chests and keep ourselves down here. You know, that's what I realized I did for the first 50 years. All I did was look after me and my family. When I started to look after me better, then I realized that there was a whole world out there who just needed waking up the way I was woken up. But I want to help you wake up on an easier journey than I had. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. So listen, where did the idea come from? Where did the idea, permission to be rich, where did it come from? Here's another little story. So as you can probably tell, I'm from Northern Ireland. So a beautiful place called Hollywood, County Down, Northern Ireland. It's absolutely lovely. It's not Belfast for anybody who wants to say Belfast. No, it's 5 miles from Belfast and it is a completely different place to Belfast, but it's all an amazing place anyway. So listen, where did the story come from? Well, last year my mum passed away and it was the few days before I was trying to get over. It was COVID. Didn't know, could I get a ferry? How we were going to get across? There were no flights, etc., etc., etc. So I thought, right, okay, well, we'll sort things here because I thought, well, when I go over, she's going to die and then I'm going to have to stay there for the funeral, etc. So I was just preparing things. But I wanted my mum. I wanted mummy to hang on for me. And funny enough, one of my friends who's a medium, Maddie Mirthwaite, if you want to give a reach out to Maddie Mirthwaite, she's absolutely awesome. She reached out to me just by chance and I had this conversation with her and she said, you need to give your mum permission to go. And I went, but I thought I had. She goes, no, you want her to wait till Friday. Give her permission now to go. So I sat there and I talked to mummy in my head and in my heart. And I said to her that it was okay. It was okay for her to go. And I gave her permission. Would you believe in a couple of hours, my mum had passed away? So that's where I thought that permission thing just started to ring true to me. And I thought, what am I stopping from coming to me? I ask for all these things and things, they don't seem to come. But then I realized that I haven't given myself permission. You know, as a medical rep, way back when, about 20 years ago, I would literally carry 5 bags of shopping each side. And somebody would ask me, do you want help? And I would say no. Just like the man with the helicopter in the flood, I would say no. And yet you plead and ask for help, but you don't receive it. Even people sending you messages, even the emails that brought you to here, pay attention, open your mind. Pay attention, open your mind. Because if you don't open your mind, then you're in judgment, and that judgment is past. You judge, and your opinions are of the past. Now, if you want your past to be in your future, then crack on. Crack on with all your judgment all you want. You just keep it coming right in. Let me ask you this. Is it serving you? Is it serving you? You see, we're in such the habit of being ourselves, we actually don't even know who we are, what we're doing, and what's in the way. And we need other people to show us. In my team, I ask them, if I step into a paradigm that does not serve me, please tell me. Because every word I'm saying is a decision. Every thought I'm having is a decision. I'm creating my future. Nothing comes out of the oblivion. It comes out of being oblivious. You've got 60,000 thoughts a day going on there. And somebody annoys you. Bam, you'd pay attention. And you thought it was them. I'm here to tell you it wasn't them. It was you. It was you. And your body woke you up in that moment to the anxiety that you were feeling. Now, that's what we tend to do, isn't it? We have anxiety and worry. We go to bed with that sometimes. Do you know if you do that, you're in the future? There is no future. We're going to find that out this week. There's no future. There's only a series of nows. Only a series of nows. Now, I know that you'll have all have heard of this stuff before. But that's the difficulty here, you see, because then you'll go, well, I know this, Sheena. I know that. I know the other. Well, guess what? I used to be a know-it-all. I learned so much that I knew everything. Then I lost everything. And I don't want you to be like that. I had to crawl my way back into life again. Nobody saw that. Everybody sees the happy, smiley Sheena. I was crawling my way up the steps. I went to work with Bob Proctor, and I thought he would come down and help me. And you know what? He didn't. He stood at the top of the stairs and he says, this way, Sheena. This way, Sheena. I crawled. I have to laugh because I crawled every single one. You know what? Because I didn't give myself permission just to get in the flipping elevator and stop climbing the bloody stairs. I mean, I have to laugh at myself now. It just seems so stupid, but I recognize where I was. So I recognize where you are. I recognize that wall that you keep hitting yourself up against. That's everybody who's on this recognizes that wall. Every single person. And we find our way through it. And each one of us is going to teach you our ways of getting around it. So maybe one of them will resonate with you. Whichever one resonates with you, make sure you watch that speaker. But I would recommend that you have us in your ears and you literally do this marathon for 3 days. 3 days of a marathon, 4 hours, put us in your ear. Netflix can wait, for goodness sake. There's really important information being shared here. So here's the next thing about my mum. My brother, when I told him that, Mummy had passed away, he said, she gave up the fight. And I'm like, what are we fighting for? Who are we fighting? Who are you fighting? Tell me, who are you fighting? Put it in the comments. What don't you like? The person next door? Your job? Your money? Your partner? Your kids? The weather? Are you telling me that everything in the world has to be just right, in your opinion, so that you can be happy? It doesn't work that way, does it? It doesn't work that way. What's the common denominator to everything? What is the common denominator to all your problems? Tell me. Go on. Tell me before I give you the answer. I think you know what the answer is anyway, don't you? Yes, that's exactly right, Kim. Ourselves. I wouldn't even say most of the time, Kim. Let me give you that one all of the time. You are the common denominator in absolutely everything. And when you can learn to take 100% responsibility for every feeling you have, notice I say, for every feeling you have, because this seminar, this workshop, this marathon, this world summit is all about you having permission to look at yourself, to be honest with yourself, and to grow and grow and grow. You see, one of the things that I thought it was because people didn't have goals. But there's a lot of people I speak to, because I work with entrepreneurs, educated entrepreneurs and business professionals. I take you and help you be the best, simply the best version of yourself, coming right from the very core of who you are. And when you sort that out, everything else is like magic. Magic. Who would love some ease, flow, and joy in their lives? Who would like that? Put your hands up. Who would like ease, flow, and joy? Yeah, all of you. I know all of you. So listen, here's the other thing. Permission. Permission. What does that word even mean? What does that word even mean? And you know what I do? I give permission to our next speaker to get into this stream room because she's on in 5 minutes. That would be Sandy. Sandy's an amazing person, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. I'm just calling her into action to get her in here so that she's sitting here waiting for you. So what does the word permission mean? Per means through. Through. Mission? Well, you know what a mission is. It's like your purpose. Through your mission, you'll be rich. What do you get up and do every day? What's your mission every day? Is it just to get through the day? Does that make you feel rich? What is your mission in life? It's not, people are say to me like, I can't find my purpose. Make it up. Make it up. Because today is not tomorrow. Tomorrow is not the next day. I have different purposes each time. Just what I feel like. If I decide today, I decide tomorrow, this is going to be my purpose. I'm going to go to sleep with that purpose in my mind, and I'm going to wake up and I will be on purpose. There's no mystical thing here. You came here to be the best version of you. And through your mission, you can be rich. But because when you're coming from your mission and your passion, not somebody else's. But here's the other thing I want to do. This isn't just about permission for, you and me, for you. It's for you to give permission to other people as well. First of all, to be rich, can you give yourself the permission to be you? Can you? Can you give yourself the permission to be yourself? Because when I did that 5 years ago, I was working in a pharmaceutical company, number 1 pharmaceutical company in the world, and I hadn't been on the leaderboard in 15 years. I did a certain test, which I can share with you if you want, ask me, but I did this test and all of a sudden it was okay to be me. And even my team, which I hadn't realized, gave me permission to be me. So as a team, we gave permission for each other to be ourselves. That was my first moment of experiencing richness. Richness beyond measure, because then I went to number 1. The team came with me, but I was number 1 across the team, across the UK, across senior leaders, top 10%. So the person who asked me, can you be rich in 3 days? You can be rich now. Your choice, your mood. I leave it up to you. So I'm going to read you some mastermind principles before I bring Sandy on. And I want you to listen to these. And this is how we start our working day. We release ourselves to the mastermind because we are strong with others to help us. We believe the combined intelligence of the mastermind creates a wisdom far beyond our own. I understand that we will more easily create positive results in our lives when we are open to looking at ourselves and problems and opportunities from another's point of view. We decide to release our desire totally and trust to the mastermind, and we are open to accepting new possibilities. We forgive ourselves for our mistakes we've made and also forgive others who have hurt us in the past so we can move into the future with a clean slate. We ask the mastermind to hear what we really want, our goals, our dreams, and our desires, and I hear our mastermind partners supporting me in this fulfillment. We know, relax, and accept, believing that the working power of the mastermind will respond to our every need, and I'm grateful knowing this is so. So this is how we're going to start. I see all of this. Everybody who's on here, whether you watch this live or whether you watch this as a recording, hello to all the replay players. Still keep your comments coming in. We absolutely want to be here for you. But I see this whole thing as a mastermind. We are going to change the vibration and the energy of the world in these next 3 days. This is unprecedented what we're doing here. Get more people in, share these YouTube links, and I will see you tomorrow. I am now going to bring Sandy into the stream here. And just to give you a little bit of information about Sandy, she is a success mind coach and she's the founder of Success Academy and the Unstoppable Success System. And she wants to accelerate your success. So, Sandy, I'm going to literally give you the floor.
Disappear.
And I'm going to disappear. I'm always in the background, though, so enjoy your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Sheena, thank you very much for starting off this summit. I have been looking forward to this for weeks. We've been planning and looking forward to this, and we are so excited because this week is going to be extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. And Sheena just talked about the vibe that is going to rise as you work through this week, because you're going to have so much poured into you by extraordinary consultants from around the world who are helping people level up to higher levels of success in order to give yourself permission to be rich on all levels, not just money, but how about being rich in time, health, relationships, lifestyle. If you're catching this live or on the replay and you haven't registered, but you would like to be part of the Permission to Be Rich community, we're going to post the registration link again right here. One of my colleagues, Catherine, can post that in there. You can register and be part of the community. But we're streaming in all sorts of platforms. It's so great to be with you. Now, permission, a couple things that Sheena, I'm just looking at my notes because I was jotting down. Sheena has so many great points there. First of all, yeah, I used to be a know-it-all. Boy, did I ever. I came from high-level success in corporate and switched to the entrepreneurial world, thought I knew it all. No. Then I started to get into personal development, started to read it all and really enjoy the stuff and thought I knew it all. No. I had some real learnings to go, and I had to give myself permission to be not a know-it-all and allow myself the journey of learning, internalizing, and letting things shift within me, letting my vibe rise. I'm so glad Sheena left off of that, because what I'm talking to you about this week at this summit is how your vibe drives your drive. So it's going to be fun. Now, did you know that you have been engineered for success? Did you know that? I want you to let that sink in. Each and every human being, so that means you, that means me, we have all been engineered for success. That is a fact. If we weren't, we would have died out as a species a long time ago. All the creatures in the animal kingdom, they've been engineered for success. On one plane in particular, on the physical plane, they know how to seek shelter, seek food, and procreate, and they are successful on the physical plane. Humans exist on 3 levels, not only on the physical plane, but on the intellectual plane, on the spiritual plane as well. And when you tap into all 3 planes, you can engineer whatever success you want. You have been engineered for success when you're tapping into all 3 planes. The problem is, my goodness, the problem is that humans live very much on the physical plane. Physical results we're focused on. The physical world, what people say, what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch is all on the physical plane. And we don't pay attention to the other 2 planes. And when we don't, success doesn't come as easily as it should. When you embody all 3, that's when you can expect the richness of success. that you deserve, that you desire. You have been engineered for success when operating on all three levels. How does that sound? Maybe that's a kind of a new spin on things. Here's the thing, though. You know what? Each of you can celebrate many successes in your lives, personally and professionally. Stop and celebrate that. I want you to stop. So, we don't. Too often we just keep going. We're human doings, doing. You need to stop and celebrate. You are already incredibly successful. And you know what? In all the successes you've had, personally and professionally, you actually were operating on all three levels. You just didn't know it. Just didn't realize that. You've done what you've wanted to do in many areas, and you've done it successfully. And now you want more. And awareness kicks in all of us. All of us. This is normal. We get certain level of success, and that's great. And then an awareness kicks in that there's more richness out there. It is the condition of the human spirit to want to be more, to do more, to have more. The spirit is all about expansion and fuller expression. To deny that impulse to expand that is within you is to snuff out your spirit. No, we don't want to do that. And too often, the intellect gets in the way and talks you out of what the spirit is suggesting. And you don't even know that's happening. And when that happens, when the intellect and the spirit get shut down, you're operating on one level. On just the physical level. So you already have all the elements of success to give yourself permission to expand. And these elements have to do with mindset. That's why this is a world summit of high performance mindset. So what is a mindset? Here's a definition that I like. Your mindset is a collection of beliefs and other subconscious programming interwoven with thoughts and feelings that predetermines a person's responses to events and circumstances. Let me just repeat that. Your mindset, let me put it in the second person. Isn't that the second person? Your mindset is a collection of your beliefs and your subconscious and other subconscious programming you have, interwoven with your thoughts and feelings that predetermines your responses to events and circumstances. That's mindset. Now, at least 80% of your success is driven by your mindset. At least 80%. Some people say 90 to 95%. Well, doesn't matter. A vast majority. But here's the funny thing. When something goes wrong for you or when things aren't happening the way you'd like, where do you go? Where do you spend your time if your business isn't doing what it's supposed to do? More sales training, more product knowledge, maybe revisiting strategy and marketing. 80% in the mindset. We're not going there. So mindset includes your programming as well as the intellectual, your thoughts, and the spiritual, your feelings. Here's the thing though. Neuroscience research shows us that between 96 and 98% of our behavior is driven from that subconscious programming. 96 to 98%. We're living from our programming. We're operating our lives from our programming. We don't think. We don't use the powerful intellectual faculties, our mental muscles. Yeah, you have powerful mental muscles. What happens when you don't use a muscle? It gets weak, right? Your mental muscles are sitting there ready to be incredibly strong. And they are in some ways, I'm sure, because you've had successes. You already are successful. But you're not using them to the degree they need to be used. And we don't tend to leverage the spiritual side of our beings. Our programming drives our behavior, which drives results. Here's a funny quote. I love this quote by George Bernard Shaw. He said, 2% of the people think, 3% of the people think they think, and 95% of people would rather die than think. You know what? I've begun to think there's truth to that. Because we're so comfortable in our programming. That's why it's called our comfort zone. It's familiar. We're very comfortable there. So you have a powerful intellect and you are a spiritual being. Embrace them. And you're learning a lot about this week. This isn't tough stuff. And a lot of it you probably have heard, but we want to connect a lot of dots this week. You can only, as Steve Jobs says, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back. So there's 9 of us that are on the other side, and we can connect some dots for you. So I hope and pray that you are going to pick up a lot of this and really start internalizing. Living from your programming keeps you living from the physical plane only. What if you harness the power of your intellect and spirit? And what if your programming, your belief system, was better aligned with the higher levels of success you desire? What if? Just imagine that. We all have many, many beliefs about who and what we are, what we think we're capable of, how people should respond to us and react to us, how life should go, and so on and so on. Here's a fun analogy for you. Imagine we've all seen Rubiks Cubes. Full confession, I cannot do a Rubik's Cube. There's no way. And you see some of these magicians on America's Got Talent or the different, and they can do it blindfold. Anyway, it marvels my mind. But to use it as an analogy, a Rubik's Cube has all those squares, right? A whole bunch of squares on each side of the cube. And the idea is to line up all the same colors on each side. So imagine each little tiny square is a belief. And so you've got tons of them on the cube, right? And you do have tons of beliefs. When you're enjoying successes, your Rubik's Cube is all aligned. The colors are all on the same sides. They're all matched. When you're going for something beyond your programming, beyond your current experiences, that challenges the programming and beliefs, your colors aren't matched. They're scattered. They're not aligned. So you just need to line them up again. Everything is there within you now. It just needs a recalibration. So this week, and then into the Dare to be Rich Summit in November, we're going to do exactly that with you. This week, I'm talking about probably the most important element of your mindset, of your success that you need to focus on, your vibration. That's what I'm talking about this week. So today, I'm talking about just understanding what is your vibration and how is it that it drives your drive? Because your drive drives your results, okay? So first of all, what do we mean by drive? Hang on a second. What do we mean by drive? Well, the desire to lean in and make it happen and get things done, do what it takes, the desire to lean in, right? It means productivity. Your drive is a higher energy. It's an intensity of focus. You're driven. It's being an inspired action, not just going through the motions. That's not drive. It's being in the spirit of whatever you're trying to achieve. So think about the richness of life you desire and ask yourself, how driven do I feel? It's important to be aware because you know what? All course correcting, and we are on a course correcting journey. All of us, Bob Proctor is course correcting every day to continue towards the realization of goals. That is the definition of success. So you can only course correct if you become aware, right? If you don't have awareness, you cannot course correct. So we're starting to build that. I'm sure you've got lots of awareness. We're building more of that right now. All right. So now what do we mean by vibe? Okay, let's bring in a little bit of science here. Science tells us, particularly physics, tells us that everything in this universe, so far as we know, is energy, right? I'm sure you'd agree with that. Everything is energy. And properties of energy is that energy vibrates on different frequencies. That's how energy operates. If you took a microscope up to a skyscraper building, you put it up against the wall, you would see it dancing. It's energy. It's vibrating. It's vibrating in extremely high frequencies, but it's still vibrating. It's energy. Your thoughts and your feelings are energy, and that's evidenced through different technologies that can see thought energy and emotional energy. So that's all the law of vibration. And when we talk about law, these are laws, the natural laws, how nature operates. Nature is not chaotic. There's an order to nature. What brings the order? Law. So these are natural laws. Law of vibration is a natural law. It's also a Scientific law, sorry, lacking the word, scientific law. Physics, this is physics, okay? So law of vibration, secondary to the law of vibration is the law of attraction. And again, this is physics. This is not magical woo stuff. Physics, the law of attraction says you can only attract what's on the same frequency. If you want to attract something, you've got to be on the same frequency. If I want to attract your phone call to me, you got to be on my cell phone frequency. Okay? And just to give some credibility, Albert Einstein himself, he said, everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Everything in this universe is energy. That's all there is to it. He said, match the frequency of the reality you desire. And you cannot help but achieve that reality. He said it could be no other way. He said it's not philosophy. It's physics. It's science. It's law. It's how nature operates, and we are part of nature. So you are a mass of vibrating energy. Some of it's physical, what you can see, and a lot of it is non-physical, your thoughts and your feelings, which you can't see, but which exert huge influences over the results in your life and what you are attracting. So what frequency are you on? How's your vibe? How's your vibe? What are you attracting into your life? And that, if I ask you, how's your vibe? That's not a straightforward nor simple answer, because we're conditioned to let different circumstances, environments influence how we feel, affect our vibe. So our vibe can be all over the map. Let me ask you this though. When you're in a low vibe, when you're, frustrated, disappointed, upset, angry, how productive are you? How's your vibe? When you're in a high vibe, when you're happy, excited, like I am right now, pumped, when you're elated, joyful, how productive are you? How much do you feel like leaning in to get things done? We talked about the definition of your drive. How's your vibe and your drive? So your vibe directly affects your drive, which is affecting your results. Okay? So why do you need to care about your vibe? Well, your vibe affects your drive, which drives your results. That's one. But here's the thing. Dream goals, the kinds of richness that you would like to give yourself permission to really enjoy in life. Again, money, health, relationships, etc. Those goals, those kinds of goals, are on higher frequencies. How do we know? Just go there in your imagination. What if I could 3 times my income this year or in the next 6 months? What if I could leave my job and start a business I've been dying to start and know I'd be absolutely successful within 12 months? Oh, what if I could do that? Just, you go there in your imagination, your energy rises. Dream goals are on higher frequencies. Right now, you're attracting what's on the same frequency as you are right now, as your current programming. Your vibe is attracting what you're getting in your life right now. So you want to get to the higher frequency of the success that you desire to attract the opportunities, the resources, the people, the richness. So you need to give yourself permission to understand and shift your vibe higher, work on your vibe. And that will give yourself permission. That will start driving different levels of richness. Here's the truth about you. You are incredibly talented, gifted, already successful. All the elements are there. Again, that Rubiks Cube. It's a fact that we are barely scratching the surface of who and what we are. It's a fact that we're capable of so much more. And again, it's a fact that you were engineered for success. So success at any level is within you now. Give yourself permission to let that in. Your current programming is what drives your vibe, and that is what's driving your results, as I've said. So put another way, you can look at your results and back that up. You can look at your results and you can tell what your vibe is around whatever's happening and what your programming is. So what's an example? Here's a great one. This is going to resonate from probably 99% out there. Sales. If you're not doing too well in sales, and selling for your business or whatever, if you're not doing too well in sales, your vibe is low around selling because your programming around selling does not serve you. Your programming might be, ugh, I'm not a salesperson. Selling is sleazy. I feel like I'm pestering and bothering people. Oh, I just hate selling, but I have to go out and sell. Well, that's my vibe. How do you think I'm going to attract great sales if I'm in that kind of vibe? Of course not. That's a powerful example. So your current programming is not aligned with your higher success desires. If it were, you'd be there. If your programming was in total alignment with the kind of success you really would like to see, the richness in your life you seek, you'd be there. Your current programming, your current mindset is attracting your current results. And again, it has been aligned in the past. That's what made success easy for you before. And you have lots of examples. You have lots of examples. Maybe as a parent, in terms of your success, as a parent, as a community leader, a coach, in previous career chapters, perhaps, there's lots of successes in your life. And using that Rubik's Cube analogy, as it relates to your next level success, those color tiles just aren't, they're mismatched. They're not lined up. And you need to recalibrate. Let's do that together. How fast can we recalibrate? If you become more aware of your vibe, this is how calibration can begin. If you become more aware of your vibe, what brings it up, what drags it down, you will be able to better control your vibe. Again, it starts with awareness. If you are in control of managing your vibe, you can intentionally and consciously keep it higher and therefore drive your vibe higher and attract differently. If you're in control of managing your vibe. So again, you've got to become aware of your vibe. It all starts with awareness. With awareness, you can begin to course correct, to recalibrate. Without awareness, you can't expect much to change. No, that's not where we want to be. We're all committed to doing this together. One of the mottos at our RF Success Academy is together we thrive, because we do. We're way better together. We're way more powerful together. And it's a hell of a lot more fun. I can tell you that much. Now, let me clarify something. When I'm talking about vibration, it is natural and normal for your vibration to fluctuate. No one stays at, that 100% high vibe 24/7. That would be impossible because that's working against the laws, the natural laws. Another one I'm going to mention, the law of rhythm. Again, the law of rhythm, again, how nature operates. All nature, from the solar systems across the universe to the cellular levels in all living entities, everything has a rhythm. Think of seasons and tides, night to day, sleep to wakefulness. Our own biorhythms, we've all got them. So it is natural for your vibe to fluctuate. Expect it. It's a rhythm. So if you get into a low vibe, this too shall pass. You're going to come up the other side. The thing is, do you want to speed up how long you stay in a lower vibe? Because unconsciously, we let far too much negatively affect our vibe, which doesn't serve us. It throws us off. Being aware of what positively and negatively impacts your vibe allows you to be able to course correct and manage your vibe to consistently higher levels. And still your vibe will fluctuate. But how would you like to keep it at higher levels or to speed up when it goes down? So what do you do though when your vibe goes low? When you get into a funk? Because when you're in a funk, how's your vibe? When you're in a funk, and we all get them, how productive do you feel? How driven do you feel to go make things happen when you're in a funk? How do you think you attract when you're in a funk? We all get them. And I wanted to share with you, I'm looking at time. I'll just summarize it. I have a tool at RF Success Academy. We have a tool called the Funk Buster. listen, actually, if you want this, it's just a PDF called the Funk Buster. If you want this, just email me at sandy@rfsuccessacademy.com. RF, reach for success. sandy@rfsuccessacademy.com. And I'll mail this tool to you. You know what? My clients love this. I love this. It's a funk buster. It helps you get out of a funk more quickly. It's a powerful little tool, and it's fun. So basically, first of all, what's the definition of a funk? It's a temporary state of temporary rhythm of lower vibration and mental anguish, resulting in reduced energy, enthusiasm, reduced effectiveness and productivity. Your drive goes down when you're in a funk. So a funk buster is just a mental realignment to maximize energy flow and effectiveness and raise your vibe so that you get out of a funk more quickly. So I go into a little bit about, funks are natural. This too shall pass. But here's the funny thing. Actually, it's not so funny. It's frustrating when we're in a funk. Funks immediately hijack your conscious mind and put you in a brain fog so that you can't. It makes it harder to make decisions, to get it into action. You're in a brain fog. And when you're in a funk, you're spinning something negatively. So how do you bust out of a funk? Just have a plan. Have a plan. So here's what I want you to do. And again, if you want this, just email me. Have a plan, because you're in a brain fog. You don't want to have to think, oh, what do I do? How do I get myself? No, you need a plan that you can just go to and bang. Okay. First of all, name your funk. Name it. Be honest with yourself. Yeah, you know what? Oh, I'm spinning negatively. I've got a presentation coming up. I'm worried that I'm not going to do a good job. They're not going to like it. I might forget what if I blow it? Okay, I'm just spinning negatively. That's not a truth or reality. I'm just spinning. So just write it out. I'm worried about this, and just get it out of you. Okay, write out what you're spinning negatively. Name it. And then here's what you do. Okay, stop what you're doing if you can. If you're on a job doing something and you can't stop, that may be your reality. But as soon as you can, stop what you're doing. Give yourself permission to stop. And do something that raises your vibration. Now, I tell my clients, put together I call a playlist of maybe 5 or 6 things. And they can range from knowing who you want to call. Maybe it's a friend or a sibling that always gets you laughing, raises your spirits. Maybe it's listening to one or two high energy songs that get you going. You sing at the top of your lungs and you dance about and you feel great. Maybe it's some motivational video or two on YouTube. Maybe it's walking the dogs, playing with the kids, going out in nature, whatever it is. Put your list together of 5 or 6 things so you don't have to think, oh, what's that video I really used to like watching? No, I'm in a brain fog. Put your list together and have that ready. So do something to raise your vibration. It may take 5 minutes. It may take a couple hours, but give yourself permission to shift your vibration. Okay. And then take whatever you're spinning negatively and use the polar opposites, using the law of polarity. Use the polar opposite. So I was spinning, what if I blow the presentation? What if I hit it out of the park? I'm going to do an amazing job on my presentation. Everybody's going to love it. I know exactly what I'm presenting. I love doing this presentation. I'm going to do a great job. Okay, I'm shifting my whole energy. Do you feel that? And then, you might have had 10 things you wanted to do that day, but you're in a funk. So as you've shifted your energy, just do one thing that helps you be more productive that day. And then celebrate. You just took control of your vibration. You raised your vibration. You took control, and that feels awesome. So that's called the Funk Buster, and it's a powerful tool. It's a simple tool, and it works. Imagine if you more consistently kept your vibe at higher levels, up where your dream goals are, up where you would love to be experiencing the richness of life on all levels. Do you think that would make a difference in your ability to create the richness that you seek, that you desire, that you deserve? That's where you want to be. Vibration matters. Your vibration matters and drives your drive to achieve the richness in life that you deserve. Okay, so change all starts with awareness, and we've raised some awareness today. By the way, once you're more aware, you can never go back. That's the beauty, right? And that's a good thing. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going into tapping into your talent and giftedness okay, that's going to help you raise your vibration. It's the first step in that recalibration. So we're going to work on that, getting more of that Rubik's Cube going, okay? And then Wednesday, I'm going to show you how to supercharge your drive. And I'm on at, yeah, exactly. And I'm on at 11:30 to 12 each day. And don't forget, if you dare to be rich, then join us for a spectacular summit, November 8th to 12th, where we're all of us are going to be coming back and drive you deeper into this material. And then we're going to dare you to be rich with us, okay? We're going to put the link right here. My colleague will put the link. And by the way, this is a paid summit. The November one is a paid summit for those willing to take up the dare. So go ahead. I dare you. Now, just before I leave you to Sheena, if you're up to it, I'm going to give you a quick little bit of homework. Take a few minutes, because again, this is awareness. Take a few minutes, write down on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your vibe? With 10 being through the roof. Then write down what things or people or situations raise your vibe, and what things, people, situations lower your vibe. Okay, this is going to raise your awareness because you likely haven't given this much attention before, with the intention of becoming more aware. And then over the rest of this week, keep noticing what's shifting your vibration, what's affecting it. Okay, so some examples might be what's something your spouse says, okay, or your boss says, good or bad, right? Or somebody cutting you off on the road, or a prospect saying no, a prospect saying yes. Right? There's all sorts of things. Just become aware and have fun with this. Success is meant to be fun, not a struggle. Success is meant to be fun. This will be taking a huge step to increasing your awareness about this key aspect of your mindset, of being able to raise your vibe, to drive your drive higher, and give yourself permission to be rich.
Absolutely brilliant, Sandy. Absolutely brilliant. Somebody asked about what your email was again. If you can, let me just type it in here. So Sandy
at
yeah,
RF, as in Frank, successacademy.com. Sandy at rfsuccessacademy.com.
Just sort of type it in here. So then it's on the YouTube channel at least, so that you know, people can find you along there anyway. And that's at 53 minutes. I just typed in Sandy at Success Academy. So if you want to go back there and find that was absolutely brilliant. Sandy, I've got loads of notes, but I'm going to be summarizing this tomorrow morning for everybody for the key bits. And that was a brilliant exercise actually that you did about noticing between, you know, a score of 1 to 10, how things outside you affect you, and how much we are in we're literally just caught up in all that instead of ourselves. Yeah. So it's really, really good exercise. Totally love it.
It's a fun exercise, and it really does. Oh yeah, that really does affect me. So it's a great one to go on.
Absolutely brilliant. Listen, Sandy, thank you so much. And for everybody, make sure you're back at the same time, same place for Sandy tomorrow. And thank you so much. I just want to remove you from the room.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye, Sandy. Bye-bye. Well, wasn't she just absolutely amazing? My goodness, I told you, these people are just totally incredible. And you have got another absolutely awesome, awesome girl who's coming on now. And it's Priya. And she is founder of Illuminescence Coaching and Consultancy. And she is going to talk to you about being spiritual and deeply transformative mindset work. Listen, let me tell you, this girl, Priya, she has such an amazing story. There's no way you're going to get to know it all here this week. That's why you have to be at the Dare to Be Summit. So I'll make sure the link's put in there. So get yourselves along to that, because this girl has got one hell of a story. Priya, I'm going to hand everything across to you, and I'll be back in about 25 minutes.
Thanks, Sheena.
See ya.
Great
Bye.
Start. Bye. What a great start to the summit. This is amazing. Sandy was just so enthusiastic. And I love that I think this is something that I really love, that each and every one of us is really passionate about what we do. And the passion that we have is really what drives the energy. And that's, for me, is spirit. So Sheena said spiritual, but for me, spiritual means that spirit comes through, and spirit talks through us and gives us actually what we want to share with you. So welcome to this amazing summit. I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful I'm here with all these amazing people. And we all have one goal, and that is for you to really get to the next level and to understand that we all have permission to be rich. And this is a real interesting subject for me, because when I was younger, for me, riches were really, I thought like, oh my God, rich people are like, there's something wrong with them, because I did not grow up in a rich household, right? And so what happened for me was, when I heard riches or abundance or anything like that, it felt really not in alignment with who I was. And so I had to shift, and I shifted. And life is such a great teacher, because it helped me shift amazingly into a new vibration that actually allowed riches. So the Permission to Be Rich Summit is for each and every one to really understand, what does it mean to give yourself permission, no matter where you come from, no matter what your background is, no matter if you had money, if you never had money, what happened in your life, that we all have a permission to be rich. And I often replace the word rich with abundance, because riches is not only money. Money is a symbol. Money is a symbol for example, riches or abundance, but there is many, 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 many other things that explain to us, or that show our abundance and our riches. And this is really what I would love to talk with you about, because freedom for me is the freedom and the permission to be rich, and freedom for me is the ultimate luxury. And so today I want to talk about your new abundance mindset. So the first thing I want to really express here in this amazing summit is that everything you and I and everybody has been going through, especially in the last 2 years, has been preparing us for this moment in time, for today, for where we are right now. The important thing in all of this is to understand that life is a lesson, and there is more and more lessons. And whatever we have been through, be it a lot of abundance, or losing the abundance, or creating more abundance, or wanting to leave a situation to create more abundance, all of this is an absolutely natural process. And it's preparing all of us for where we are right now and where the world is headed. So we're all put on this planet to make a difference. And I want you to really understand this. We are put on this planet to make a difference. You who is watching this, who has been intrigued probably by either one of the speakers, by one of us, or by the subject of permission to be rich. Who has to give me permission to be rich? It's you. You give yourself permission to be rich, because you are here to make a difference and to be your beautiful, amazing, divine self, the beautiful soul, the spirit that is in this life, in this body that you are in watching this, and that you have the permission from the universe to be as abundant and feel as rich and abundant as you want. And one thing is really sure, we are all here as unique human beings, meaning whenever we want to make a difference, we are uniquely us. And this is really important. And when we talk about riches or abundance, if you look on the planet, if you look anywhere in the universe, there is not two people that are alike. There is not two flowers that are the same. There is not two snowflakes that have the same shape. Everything is made in its unique way. And society in itself has been trying to homogenize people. And we're not here to be homogenized. We're here to be uniquely ourselves. Whatever any of us has to offer comes from our unique spirit. And this unique spirit is really what is igniting us to do the work we do, to inspire people to be the best self and the highest self that they can be on this planet, and to truly understand that we are, each one of us here, because we have a calling and we have the chance and this beautiful opportunity to make a difference. And in order to make a difference in the world, it is easier to make a difference when you have a certain amount of riches and abundance than it is when you don't. And this is all that I want to talk to you about, that your soul has been calling you into this life at this moment, preparing you for this, so you authentically can make a difference, be your beautiful divine self, and not deny your calling because you think you cannot acquire any riches other than going to a 9 to 5 or doing what you don't want to do. There is some beautiful text in the Gospel of Thomas, and this is not anything religious, but I'm somebody who loves to read, and so I read the Bible the same way that I read a lot of other things. And in the Gospel of Thomas, he says, "What you bring forth will save you, but what you do not bring forth, what is you, will destroy you." So really thinking about that, why are we on this planet? We are here to make a difference. And we are here in 2021 in a moment in time that is giving us every single opportunity to just be us and make this beautiful difference. So the question that I'm going to ask you, the first question is, what do you want? And this is a very broad question, because maybe you want to be a leader in your field, the leader you want to be. You want to be a coach, or you want to be somebody who impacts people's lives, an artist, a healer, somebody who wants to bring forth a huge business, who wants to change the economy. You want to become a force for good in the world and help, and really help turn the world towards more equality and harmony and beauty and nature, because we are one with nature. Maybe you want to create a legacy for yourself, your children. You want to create a new economy. That's what we are here for. We're here to show people how to create their own economy for the highest good of all. This is not about more ego, but this is really for the highest good of all. Maybe you're here for something completely different, but one thing you're surely here for is to design your own destiny. So take full advantage of what I'm sharing today, what each speaker is sharing today. So my first thing is to congratulate you to be here, because you made the decision to change something, to show up and look at another possibility to live life, another possibility to manifest abundance, and to step into something which might be unfamiliar for you, which is called riches. And if you choose today to really take back your life and really take back your soul and get the information that we're putting out here, it will empower you. It really will empower you to step up and become the abundant being that you were born to be. And you were born to be abundant, because the universe is pure abundance, and you are the universe in human form. So this is what I know today for you and for each and every one of us. All of us are here to change the world or create a new part in the world. We're not here to continue the same thing. That's called insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. Each and every one of us is unique, and we can all make a massive impact, a real massive impact, in not only in your life, but in the life of the people around you and in the world, because the world needs leaders right now. The world needs leaders that can manage money and riches in the best way possible for everyone. So you can choose today and in the coming days, and when we do our next summit in November, you can choose to leave the past behind. Let the past be the past. It doesn't matter what you did 2 minutes ago. It doesn't matter. Design what you want your future to look like. If that speaks to you, then you can make a committed decision today, really today, for yourself and your soul and your beautiful divine self that is here, to believe that a quantum leap in your life is possible, that riches are for you. And if you need that permission from anybody outside, you have it. You have it from me, you have it from everybody. But the most important person that you need the permission from is yourself. So I'm here today to help you and to really talk about what it means to have an abundance mindset and why freedom from anything that holds you back to be abundant, is really the ultimate luxury. So, what I will cover in the next 3 days is your beliefs about abundance, riches, and even the word freedom, understanding the laws of the universe and how you can work with the laws of the universe because you are part of the universe in relationship to abundance and attract more of it. And then what is an abundance mindset? What does it really mean? What has mindset to do with abundance and riches? And how can you shift the mindset to a mindset of abundance? So let's talk about the beliefs first, your relationship to abundance, including riches and money. So what does abundance have to do with freedom? True abundance is free. True abundance is free. Wherever you look in the universe, everything is abundant, everything is growing, and everything is free. The best things in life are always free. They are gifts from the universe. They are gifts that cannot be bought. And this is love, time, friendship, your generosity, your mindset, your imagination, your intuition. Those are gifts from the universe. And this is abundance. This is your first step to abundance. So when you release the stress of creating abundance, of wanting to push this abundance, but you work with the universe and allow the universe to use you as a conduit for abundance, that is what true freedom is. And that for me is the ultimate luxury. Because luxury is truly something that we see as something that is outside of us. Excuse me. And it's never outside of us. Abundance always starts within. Abundance is a mindset. When you are free to become a conduit for abundance, you don't see money as I, me, and mine, but you see money as something which is a gift that comes to you, through you, so that you can use it. It is not your money, it comes through you. You impregnate it with the love that you have and with your energy, and then you let it go. And then you let it flow. And the more you can let this flow, the more you can work in harmony with the laws of the universe. The more you understand that the laws are here to work with you and for you, and that you are born abundant, that you are born to be abundant and rich with all the things that were given to you for free. When you can see this, it will free you from all the stress that you might have when you listen to people that talk about riches and that tell you you have to bend the universe and force things and manipulate. This is not about forcing anything. This is about attracting and working with the universe, because you are the universe in human form. You have everything inside of you. So instead of you forcing anything, you become one with the abundance, the flow of abundance, one with the universe, and then you can let the abundance flow to and through you. So when I talk about abundance, the question is, what is abundance? As I said, it's not only money. Money is a symbol of abundance, but abundance is truly generosity and time and love and caring. It is also community. It is understanding. Abundance is the consciousness that inhabits you, that you are growing right now watching this. And abundance is everywhere. It's a feeling inside, and it's a state of consciousness. And it is the opposite of lack. Abundance is not yours. It's not like I, me, and my abundance. It is something that flows through you. You are simply a conduit for it. So when we get away from the ego, abundance means being one, having a faith that there is always enough. There is always enough. There is divine abundance and infinite abundance in the universe. So what can you do to attract this abundance in your life? The first thing to understand is to be open to receiving. Open to receiving that abundance, to realize you are abundance. And because if you can realize this, you attract more abundance. because the frequency inside of you, the vibration that you have, is attracting the same thing, the same vibration. When you can understand that you are infinite abundance, that you feel worthy, loving, that you are deserving, then you really allow the receiving of more abundance. So the question I have for you is, do you have any blockages? Blockages that are there that prevent you from receiving. Blockages can be self-worth, lack of it, old stories, having, an upbringing where you were told riches are bad, abundance is not good, money is the root of all evil. All of these stories that we were told as children, they are not true. And I want you to really hear this. They are not true. The universe is abundance and riches. You are the universe, and you deserve abundance and riches, not for yourself alone, but in order to give this to the universe and the world. So the universe is a mirror. So the more you trust and the more you feel worthy, if you look in the mirror, the more it can bring back to you. The more you spread the good, the more things will come to you. So a lot of people, when they talk about abundance and riches, they ask constantly, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. But asking constantly is a sign of lack because you don't believe it's there. So the first thing to do is to really realize that the universe is infinitely abundant, and that all you have to do is to ask and align with this abundance and to feel this abundance inside of you. And when you can truly trust that this is the case, that the universe has infinite abundance, and you know you are part of the universe, then you know this is one stream, one flow of abundance, and you're in it. So ego abundance, and this is something I just want to put in there, this I, me, and mine, I want to be a billionaire and a trillionaire and whatever. The question is why? What are you going to do with it? How much good do you want to do in the world? Be the energy you want to attract. The more good you do in the world and for others, because the other is you in another form, is the universe in another form, the more you choose this, the more abundance can flow to you. And then the discrepancy between the very rich and the very poor is diminishing because abundance is seeing the bigger picture. So I want to give you an abundance affirmation. And this abundance affirmation has been really helping me to really see that abundance is everywhere. And you can close your eyes and just listen to what I'm saying and just let this sink in for you. Divine Beloved, allow me to give with complete ease and abundance, knowing that you are the unlimited source of all. Let me be an easy, open conduit for your prosperity. Let me trust that all my own needs are always met in amazing ways, and that it's safe to give freely as my heart guides. And equally, let me feel wildly open to receiving. May I know my own value, beauty, and worthiness without question. Let me allow others the supreme pleasure of giving to me. May I feel worthy to receive in every possible way and share this abundance. Change me into one who can fully love, forgive, and accept myself so I can carry your light without restriction. Let everything that needs to go, go. Let everything that needs to come, come. I am utterly your own. You are me, I am you. We are one, and all is well. This abundance affirmation comes from Tasha Silver, who is one of my favorite authors. And she wrote a book that is called It Is Not Your Money. This book is on my bedside, and I absolutely love what she says. If you really let this sink in, that there is nothing that is not on your way and in your flow, if you align with divine abundance, you are going to open the floodgates for something so much bigger. so much bigger. And I want you to right now set aside any old belief and open yourself to a mindset of absolute positive belief that anything is possible for you, anything. So what are a few things that can change your money mindset to a money mindset of abundance? The first thing is to create a vision of what you desire. To really create a vision of what you desire for yourself and as the highest good for this planet and for others. And then the next thing is to really believe that this vision is true, that you really sit down and visualize within yourself, you feel it. This vision is true. This is something that can happen any moment. I am here to make a difference as myself in this world, as this beautiful gem, this pearl, this diamond that you are. You are here as a diamond to shine. And the vision that you have has been given to you from your, call it your higher self or your soul or the divine or the universe. So act exactly as if this is true and feel it inside of you that this vision is yours. It has come to you, not to me, not to your neighbor. It has come to you. And you can feel it is true. So when you make a decision, a committed decision that you really want to understand more how to become a conduit for everything good in this life, you will achieve what you truly desire. What you truly desire, not only for yourself, but for the highest good of all. So ask yourself, do you believe that? Do you really believe that? And if you don't, what is standing between you and this belief? Because this is what my strength in what I coach is to help people drop their limiting beliefs that they don't deserve abundance, that they don't deserve to be loved, that they're not worthy, that they have a mindset that is holding them back, and shift this into a mindset of complete abundance and oneness. When you make this decision and understand this, your beliefs are going to change. And because your beliefs are a frequency, a belief that something isn't possible is on that frequency. A belief that things are possible on this frequency. So when you are in that energy has to come to you. You attract it automatically. So to be truly abundant, the first thing to do is to change your beliefs. And what I would invite you to do is to really work today and write down for you, for yourself, that you, all the negative things that you have about riches and abundance in harmony with yourself, and you release them and replace them with something completely positive. You just do the exact opposite. You say, I am worthy. I am worthy to be rich. I'm worthy to be abundant. I'm worthy to be part of this community of amazing people that are all choosing to be gems and diamonds in this world. And tomorrow we're going to dive into the soul of money and what your soul actually is calling for you for. So Sheena, thank you so much for, giving me the opportunity to share this, because this is really, this is my purpose. So
this is it. This is just totally incredible. You've come off with some one-liners there, let me tell you. I don't know which one I'm going to pick on tomorrow morning to actually just expand upon, but some of the things there, like ego abundance, and be the energy you want to attract. True abundance is free. That's, I think, probably the quote of this one is true abundance is free. I absolutely love that. So I've put some, Priya's references and website and email in the YouTube channel chat anyway. And so, reach out to Priya. And that was just totally, I'm just blown away by all of you, This is incredible. Thank you so much, Priya, for your time. And I'm going to introduce the next couple.
Thanks, Sheena.
Okay, see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
So listen, wow, are you not just blown away? Because I totally, totally am. I mean, this is why you want to keep us in your ears and you do not want to stop this. You will go to bed tonight and you will dream a whole different life after all this information that we've got here. So we've got Bjorn and Lyndsay coming on, and Bjorn is founder of the Leadership of Life, and he wants you to find your desire. You'll be on fire. I totally love that. And Lyndsay is the creator life coaching methodology, and she wants you to help you accelerate your life. So without further ado, because that's going to be 3 of us on there, you've got these guys for the next, what's that, 25 and 25? I can't figure that out. You've got them for the next nearly an hour. And I'm going to just introduce them to the screen here. Hello, Bjorn. And hello, Lyndsay. So we're all a bit squashed. So I'm going to get out of the way and let you carry on. See you guys.
Thank you, Sheena. So I just want to say good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to everyone who's tuning in from around the world. I'd like to just introduce myself. My name is Lyndsay King, and I am the founder of the Accelerate Your Life process, which is a methodology for inspiring and awakening you to your higher self and your higher purpose and mission in life. And I'd love to also hand over and introduce to Bjorn Erik Jodal, who is also my life partner and a performance mindset coach.
Hi, and thank you. Thank you for being here, guys, and thank you for being here with me, Lyndsay. I'm Bjorn from Norway, the founder of Leadership of Life. I'm a consultant of Procter Gallagher Institute, and all into mindset work, the universal work, and all into support you guys in achieving what you truly desire. So pass back over to you, Lyndsay. We will be here together, and I look forward to the next 50 minutes.
Thank you so much. So just quickly before we begin, we have some pretty dynamic content, which is complementary to everything you're going to be learning in today's session of Permission to Be Rich, and also over the next 3 days. Let me just quickly address why Bjorn and I are presenting together. So we are practicing in a divine partnership, which we have manifested for our lives as well. We actually work together on a lot of our mindset work to address the more masculine approach, which is a more organized, rigid, disciplined approach to mindset work. But then we also embrace and embody the feminine energy of creativity, of love, of self-acceptance, of self-worth, and how we can start to tap into our deepest energetic intuition and start to receive guidance and answers from the universe. So we are talking today about universal laws. And the first 25 minutes of what we will talk to you about with regard to Permission to Be Rich will be on the topic of you have to believe it to see it. So we are going to challenge your deepest wealth vibration with that. And then secondly, Bjorn will talk about finding your desire, which will set your life on fire. So leading on to what we've already heard about today, I wanted to start off with asking you to really sit and consider what you want in your life. What is it that you deeply and truly want? And with that, I want you to not just think of all of the materialistic things that you want, which is very important for you to do. But I would like you to take an even further step in dreaming about the life that you desire. What are your dreams, your biggest dreams that feel completely unrealistic right now, your lifestyle? And more importantly, how you want to feel as you live that life. Now, we all know that it's okay to dream of a life with big houses and cars and lots of money in our bank accounts. But what is the price that you pay? Are you willing to pay the price of stress, anxiety, depression, unhappiness? We're not saying that will happen, but a lot of people do exchange their well-being for wealth and abundance and riches. And that is possible. But what we want to focus on today is not just a life with only financial wealth, okay, which is a very energetic way to measure success, or you can't see my hands because we're kind of chopped on this screen. But we want to look at the full spectrum of a true balanced life of well-being, of abundance in mind, body, heart, and soul. So I want to just take us right back to, what is it that you want? And what is it that you dream of? Do you dream of being happy with all of your wealth and abundance? Do you dream of a life of ease and grace? Do you dream of a life where you have time to spend with your children, your loved one, and your families? And what we're really getting to here is why you want all of your wealth, why you want riches, a full bank account, to never have to worry about the money that you're spending, to never have to sacrifice your well-being in exchange for materialism. And here's what we're going to talk about today. You can actually have it all. It will take discipline. It will take focus. It will take patience. But most importantly, it takes the belief in yourself. And one of the things Bjorn and I were talking about last week, which he will probably embellish on in his presentation today, is that you will never get what you want. But what you will get is what you are in harmony with, is what you are in vibration with, is what your emotional power state matches with in this universe. And I'm going to talk to you today about how that matches up with the belief you have in yourself, the belief you have in your happiness, the belief you have that you already have achieved everything that you desire. And this is where we start to step into the quantum realm. And just for those of you who are unfamiliar with what the quantum realm is, I will give you a very quick explanation. When we experience the quantum realm of reality, I would like you to consider that everything has already been created in this universe. There are multiple dimensions of your reality that are at your fingertips, waiting to unfold before your very eyes. In this third dimensional reality, our life as a human right here on Earth, right now. And what we train you to do and what we want to help you do over the next 3 days is tap into that frequency so that you start to walk your path in harmony with your deepest, truest desires, to get you in touch with the deepest sense of your inner self, your higher being, your truest potential, what you've always known you were worth, what you've always known you came here to do. And we're going to start to look at over the next few days, tomorrow, and also on day 3 on Wednesday, how to unblock these energetic blockers on a cellular level, which I'm sure you're going to hear spoken about in many different ways over these 3 days of incredible, valuable knowledge, information, and guidance. So the first thing I want to talk about is the reason we're all here. I want you to think about your life as in your true happiness and purpose here. Your mission as a human being, fueled by a spiritual, energetic body, right? Because we're two. We're human and we're energy, right? Which is why we talk about energy and universal laws so much when we get into mindset work, because it is a truly spiritual, emotional experience. When you shift your mindset, you shift your energetic field. And I would like you to think about your life like this. Your job, your only job here, is to be free, to become the person that you are meant to become. To tap into your deepest desires, your deepest intuition, and to start to follow your heart. And to learn how your head, your mind, your senses, your operating system up here guide you in following your heart, your dreams, your goals, and your desires. So if you have not already done so, I encourage you to write down right now your big goal, what you want, what you truly dream of. And I ask you to allow yourself to dream. The name of our event is Permission to Be Rich. And I just want to thank Sheena Cantar for that, because it really is about, the first step is giving yourself permission to want, permission to desire, permission to have more, permission to think of yourself as a person that you have not yet become in this reality. And I want you to realize that you're already that person on the inside. And the reason you're here right now, listening live or on the replay, is because you are being led down the path that will bring you the information, the knowledge, the love, and the support to take you on your journey, the next steps in finding out what your truest, deepest abilities and potential are. So I want you to allow yourself to want. I want you to allow yourself to fill your bank account with $1 million or £1 million or €1 million. I want you to give yourself permission, not just to want and have desires, but also to start taking steps in your life, grounding yourself here on this planet, to start putting those actions or putting those desires, creating movement and making action around achieving those goals. So I ask you here, how do you perceive your own dreams and desires? Do you separate them from who you are right now? And the reason I ask that question is because I work with so many people who have a big goal and a big dream and desire. But my question to you is, do you really believe that you are capable of creating the life you want? Do you truly, deeply feel within your gut, within your heart, that this is possible for yourself? And I pause for a minute to give you a second to think about that. Are you willing to make mistakes? Are you willing to try new things? Are you willing to fail a little bit? Are you willing to be vulnerable? Are you willing to feel defeated once in a while? And the reason I ask that is because these are some of the biggest fears that stand in our way when we are truly committed to building a wealth lifestyle, or the vibration of wealth in our life. So when I say, do you really have permission to be rich? Permission to be rich is about walking your path according to what your heart desires and being vulnerable. Not attaching your self-worth or your self-value to being right, to being perfect, to being so nice all the time. It's really about starting to look inward and saying, how much am I really worth on this? This stuff worth giving up my true life and happiness to make other people happy, to serve my employers, to serve everyone around me and put myself last. And the reason I ask that is because for this phase of my discussion, I want to talk to you about your value. And I want to talk to you about your deepest sense of worth, okay? When you start to get aligned and in the vibration and in harmony with abundance, one of the things that you will realize, and that we realize here, is that you are true infinite value. You have things that other people don't, because we are all unique. 7.3 billion individuals on this planet, all created as human beings part human and part energy, completely the same, and all 100% unique. From the moment we're born until the moment we die, every single person is developing a completely different reality perception of the world. And many times over the next 3 days, you will hear us talk about your deepest, innermost belief systems and paradigms, which are building the structure of how you perceive the world, AKA how you are manifesting your reality. So when I start to talk to you today about your value and your worth, one of the things we do when we recreate our belief systems is that we restructure our perception of the world and who we are and how we show up in it. So are you free to become the person you're meant to become? And if not, I would love for you right now to identify what is holding you back. Where is that self-imposed prison tying your hands so that you cannot move forward in abundance, in value? What if you were all of the value, all of the worth, nothing was attached to how good you are, to how bad you are? What if you could release right now all of your judgment, not just for everyone and everything around you, but for yourself? What if I challenged you today with a concept of radical, unconditional self-love? And not only that, what if I challenged you today with a concept of radical, unconditional self-acceptance? Accepting yourself for exactly where you are right now, AKA letting the past go, right? We were talking about it earlier. Accepting yourself with all of your flaws, with all of those extra cakes you had over the weekend, with all of your financial disaster you've created in your life, with all of the mistakes you've made, for all of your past relationships, for your parents, for your children to come. What if you could just accept where you are at right now and feel this energetic release of letting go, of surrendering to your perfect journey today? So I'm kind of getting into what we're going to go through over day 2 and day 3. So day 2, tomorrow, I will be running an active session, which is gaining energetic permission to be rich. So we will start to activate and shift your blockages on a cellular level. And on day 3, I will talk to you about the law of abundance, prosperity, and attraction. And I will give you a permission to be rich cellular activation, where we actually go in and start to reprogram ourselves on a cellular level. All of us have the power to do this with our minds. I will just guide you, and you can do this every day. So that will be tomorrow, and that will be the next day on Wednesday. But for today, I want you to consider that when you value yourself wholly and completely, deeply on a cellular level, and you believe in yourself, right? You believe in your goal, you believe in your worth, and you believe in everyone around you, and that the universe is conspiring to bring it all to you. All you need to do is relax, focus inward on your radical, unconditional love and self-acceptance for yourself, and understand the methodology involved in taking action to build your wealth. And that is getting educated. That is reading the books you need to read, seeking out the guidance and support that you need in order to do that. And furthermore, what if you truly believed that you were the value? You are the value. You have nothing but value to bring in every interaction you have every single day. And I'm going to take it a step further. If you also deeply and utterly believed that money flows in the direction of value. Job done, right? Oh, it's so easy. Okay, guys, let's just go be rich, right? We've got permission, we are value, and we believe that money flows in the direction of value. So when we understand energy, right? I teach a lot about understanding energy. Everyone here does. We understand that what we believe deeply on a cellular level within our soul, we reprogram ourselves. What we believe is what becomes our reality. So that's why in mindset, in wealth and abundance vibration, we do so much work on our inner world to rip out the old programming. It's like computers, right? Are you going to work with a computer from 1980? I don't think so. You're going to work with the latest Apple model that came out last week with the latest operating system, right? Because it's up to date. It kind of gets it. It understands. So we got to rip out that old programming. And as anyone who's ever done any programming knows, you cannot fix programming. You have to start from scratch, build a strong foundation, and build upward. That's what we do here with mindset work. This is what it means to be a high performer. Anyone who has achieved massive wealth and abundance in all areas of their life have gained support, guidance, and have created a supportive circle and network around them in order to do that. So the last 2 points I'd like to make today. What are your standards for living? And it's okay if they're not where you want them to be. But the reason I ask that is because I want you to bring your awareness, your consciousness to what you are consciously creating. Are you consciously creating circumstances that support your success? So one of the terms everyone who knows me or works with me knows, I love to say, raise your standards and the universe will meet you there. Because you cast out a vibration of what you expect in your life, and you say to the universe on an energetic standpoint, I will not take less. This is where I'm at. And when you know where you're going, you know what you want, you know your goals, your legacy that you are here to leave on this planet, you know your worth, you know your value. It starts to become quite easy to make decisions about what you accept into your life and what you don't. This is also a law of the universe. It's called the law of discernment. The universe is a very loving universe, and it operates on a very simplistic set of laws. Just like gravity, what goes up must come down. When we cast out a certain vibration by law, it must come back to us. So let me just remind you, you will not get what you want simply because you want it. You will get everything your heart desires when you step into harmony with the vibration of what you want. Complex and simple. So raise your standards and the universe will meet you there. I would love for you to go ahead and write that down. And I want to talk about your expectations, right? So we want to understand that being attached to an outcome is very different from expecting the outcome we want. Attachment, I would say, you could consider your enemy, because you are allowing your energetic power, your emotional state to attach to something. And when you do or don't get it, it will control the way you feel. So by practicing detachment from our expectations or from your expectations, you are free to live in harmony with what you want all the time, no matter what happens. Things work out that you want. They don't. Either way, it's still you. In harmony with everything that you desire in this universe, with your wealth and abundance, with confidence, no fear of failure, no doubt. When you raise your standards, you will have to exercise discernment, because this is a part of the process of leveling up in your vibration. In the energetic world, we call it shedding. We shed friends, we shed homes, we shed jobs, we shed old income statements, we graduate to new ones. But this requires a level of detachment, expecting the best and keeping it there. Nothing else can steal that energy from you. People ask me all the time, what does it mean to be empowered? Okay. Being empowered means that you are in full control of your energetic state. Your power is within you. And detachment is what is going to take you there. You live in a place of trust and belief and faith and certainty that things are always working out for you every single day, every minute of every single day for the rest of your life. And this is how we start to step into a harmonious way of living. This is where our wealth vibration truly shifts. It's not just a want or a hope or something outside of us. As our speakers were just saying, this is not outside of you. This is in you. This is who you become. So when we go back to being free to become the person you're meant to become, I ask you this. Are you becoming that person right now? And if you are, how have you shifted your mindset? How have you shifted your vibration, consciously creating circumstances for your success? How have you allowed yourself to detach from things you thought should have, could have, and would have been, but they're not? How have you allowed yourself to open up with a deeper sense of value, worth, and trust that you don't know the answers? You just have to set yourself on the expectation that you will have the results you want by practicing within the energetic laws of the universe, right? This is quantum physics. And it's all proven by science. I could get out a long list of reports and studies here, which I have. I'm not going to read them out to you today because we have a limited amount of time. So the final topic that I'd love to talk to you about, and I will leave you with some tips and advice on what you can start to affirm into yourself, and I'll give you some advice and guidance on how you can do that in a powerful way to really challenge your deepest wealth vibration, starting from tonight. Let's talk about the power of belief. The power of belief? Yeah, you know.
I know.
Yeah, so anyone who's gotten into this kind of work, and I was just saying before, you will hear it again and again because we love repetition and practice around here. Repetition. In all fields and industries, repetition is the key to success. But I want to make sure your repetition is focused and guided in the right areas, right? The power of belief. What you believe, you become. And we can get into a whole different lesson on self-image, which we won't do over these 3 days. This is a separate thing. What you believe, you become. Your perception of the world, your perception on money, your perception on what you are entitled to, on how your standards are for living, on how other people should be, could be, on how your partner should be, your boss, your job, your business, your employees. What do you believe about the world? When you share your beliefs, they will start to become your reality. But let me ask you this. Do you believe in yourself? Do you really deeply, truly believe that you are successful? Do you believe that you are a wealthy individual? And here's where I'm going to challenge you as to whether or not you truly believe that, okay? If you lost everything today, your home, clothes off your back, right? One pair of shoes, and you were sleeping on a park bench across the street from my house. would you still believe that you were a deeply successful and wealthy individual? Or would you let your external circumstances dictate who you really are? I would love to embellish on that, but I know that with that thought in mind, it will make sense over the next 3 days with all of our magnificent speakers here talking about permission to be rich. And the reason I ask such an intensively contrasting question to you today is this. When you truly believe in yourself and you believe that you're a success and you believe that you are a wealthy individual, no one and nothing can take that belief away from you. Your home is not going to be that belief. Your car is not that belief. Your circumstances are not that belief. What someone says to you are not that belief. You are the truest and deepest essence of that belief. And that is stepping into true harmony with your wealth vibration and with everything you want. This is the permission I ask you, I grant you, and I ask you to give yourself when we are asking for wealth and riches and prosperity and abundance. Believe in yourself. And you can practice believing in your goals, believing in your family, believing in the laws of the universe, even though we all know that they are not up for question. They are. Believing in the resources and support that you have around you, believing that you have enough time, believing that you have enough money, believing that you truly are a wonderful, unique, blessed, and successful individual, following your path and your mission on this planet. So believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Believe in the lifestyle that you want. And I'll leave you with this. We're going to hand over to Bjorn in just a minute. You can write this down. Can you look yourself in the mirror tonight, tomorrow morning, all week, keeping your goal in mind and your truest, deepest wants and desires? And can you honestly say to yourself, I believe in myself? Can you scream it to the stars, to the sky? I believe in myself. I believe in my goal. And I believe that I will achieve everything I want in my life. I am in the process of creating the life of my dreams, of wealth and abundance and riches right now. And how does that feel? If you feel like you're lying, that's okay. This is where we need to begin. Okay? So I just want to invite you to be a part of our next session with my partner here, who will be talking to you about the power of desire. So find your desire to set your life on fire. I ask you to please join us over the next 2 days on day 2 and day 3 of Permission to Be Rich. We are going to, tomorrow I'll be speaking to you about gaining energetic permission to be rich, which is an active session to shift your blockages and to clear out some of that old gunk that we don't need anymore to help move us into a place of greater wealth and abundance vibration. And day 3, I will specifically be talking to you about the laws of the universe, abundance, and the law of attraction, the most popular law, as we've all heard. And we will be conducting a very brief but powerful Permission to Be Rich cellular activation. I also just want to point out, and we will post the link, that Bjorn and I are actually offering co-coaching calls together to everyone who's attending this event. So we will have a link available where you can book a Calendly event with us. And we will have 30 minutes with co-coaching between the both of us so we can help you gain clarity on what you want, your goals, what your next step is. You may already be at a very great level of success, so let's take it to the next level. Take it a step further and let us work with you and this divine balance of masculine and feminine energy, which is intuition combined with discipline. So Bjorn, I'd love to hand over to you now. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lyndsay. They were just absolutely incredible, incredible, incredible. And I'm just keeping us on time. So I'm letting you know, Bjorn, that we've actually got 15 minutes just for Bjorn. So we want to keep everybody on time here. And I just thought if there's anything that you want to say, I wanted to come in and make sure that you get what you're, what you want to be out there. But Lyndsay, you had some amazing things. Oh my goodness. I'll be mentioning them again tomorrow. But the other one was money flows in the direction of value. And raise your standards and the universe will meet you there. I will not take less. This is what I expect. Boom. In the room, Bjorn.
Wow. Thank you so much for that introduction. And thank you so much, Lyndsay. You know, I want to check out what you guys listening in here, because I had a very strong impression by what Lyndsay shared with us. So I will ask the audience. So if you're on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever you are, I want you to comment the one word that you heard most often through Lyndsay's 25 minutes with you. What was the one word you heard most often? I'll just check in with you, and I'm observing the comments here. So I'm really excited. I won't give you the word though. So what was Lyndsay really talking about? She was talking about what is it that you want? She was talking about what are you dreaming of? What are you allowing yourself to actually be, have, and do? What are you permitting yourself? And what is your value? What is your worth? And money flows in the direction of value, raising your standards, the power of belief. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, very briefly wrapped up. And here we have some words as well, believe, and we have energy. And it's so cool because our perception and experience from one another is different. The one word I heard strongest through these 25 minutes with Lyndsay was value. And there is the starting point of you becoming rich. Until you actually are able to emotionally value yourself in a way that you're actually permitting yourself to be rich. Are we talking only about money? No, but we're talking about money, but we're talking about being rich in life. And where does all that start? My topic and what I wanted to share with you tonight was desire, which is the first principle of success according to the book Think and Grow Rich. And I've been working on that word, thinking about that word, feeling that word for a long, long time, about 30 years. And what is desire? Well, first and foremost, do you know what it is? It's the language of the universe. What did I say? Desire is the language of the universe. You probably heard the saying that what you think about is what you become. I would interpret that into what you desire is what you truly become. What you desire is what you truly have in your life. What you desire is what you truly will be in your life. Remember the philosopher Goethe said, if you want to do something, you first got to become something. Lyndsay mentioned another word, harmony, which is so big part of your desire. First of all, I want to address, where is your desire? And some would answer, well, in my heart. Some would answer somewhere in my body, in your mind, or wherever it is. I will tell you where it is right now. If you think about your mind, divided in two parts, one conscious mind and one subconscious mind. And I'm going off my schedule today, I tell you guys. I want to share a couple of stories with you. How desire will give you what you want, okay? And how universe responds to your desires. your conscious mind is where you are able to think. It's where you are able to imagine. It's where you actually are able to create the idea of what you truly desire in your life. Yeah, really? Yeah, you can build pictures and images of what you want and think about them, put them on the wall. You can write them down. You can listen to your audio loops, just repeating. That was another word that Lyndsay mentioned today. We love repetition. Why? Because that's the only way you can reprogram your mind. Consciously. But where is your desire? Desire is feeling. Desire is something that you're emotionally involved with. Desire is something that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. But first comes the permission. You got to permit yourself to even think that way, to even allow yourself to play with those ideas, what you truly, truly want. Your desire is part of your subconscious mind, your emotional mind, where I will refer to as your heart. What your heart desire is what you will see manifested in your life. And I want to bring up a couple of examples. You know, I'm a committed student of this knowledge, and it expands every single day, and it amazes me how powerful you are, I am, and this universe is. And you know a cool thing? That you and I, we have the exact same power. Infinite. The abundance that also was mentioned is there for you to grab. Lyndsay said universe is a good universe. It's a universe of love. I don't remember exactly how he expressed it, but you know, it's not like the world, the universe is bad with you. The universe just want to pour over you what you desire. Yeah, but I don't know what I desire. Well, let's figure out what you desire. Albert Einstein said once that your intuitive mind is a sacred gift and your rational mind is its servant. Do you know how we are raised in this world? We have learned that the rational mind is what will guide us. What am I talking about? Those five senses wired up to your conscious mind, serving you with impressions and information all day long. What is that information? It's literally detaching you from your desire. The more you focus on your outside, on your circumstances, whatever reason it is, the less you will see what you desire. The more focus and energy you put into your heart's desire, what you really want in your life, the more of that you will get. And you know that is a choice. You can choose, you can think. Lyndsay spoke about this the other day. That you know, say, yeah, I've heard this information before. And I guess most of you guys here on the call today.
Bjorn, I'm just coming in there going, you're sounding a little bit like a garlic.
Sorry.
Maybe back up or try to.
I'm not sure if it's all of it. Is it me as well? Oh, he's going out. Oh, right. Does that sound better?
Gonna try to reprogram it.
If Bjorn comes back, yeah, his device not connected. He's literally fallen off. Well, you carry on talking there, Lyndsay. Well, we can carry on talking together.
Yeah, so we have about 5 minutes left, and you know what? I think what we're really getting to here is that when we're tapping into our language of the universe. Oh, are you back?
I'm back. I don't know what happened.
You sound normal again. Go ahead.
Universe is a good place. Everything is in order. So thank you for the patience, and thank you for getting me back on board. But this word desire is something put in your heart. And the last thing I said before I was cut off here, I guess, was you have a choice. And I refer to, you probably heard the information that you have heard here several times. You probably read a book or two or 10 or 100, I don't know, where you kind of get that impression, yeah, I can resonate with this. I know this stuff. And still, there is said that only 2% of the population in this entire planet are considered successful, even considering themselves successful. Why? Because it's all about that reprogramming and repetition. So your subconscious mind, your heart and desire can pick up and send energy into what you want. And I think we have 5 minutes left, so I will tell you a couple of two very, very practical and recent stories of my life and of Lyndsay's life, actually, that is an actual manifestation and proof of how desire works. I opened up saying that desire is the language of the universe. When you learn that language, which means listening to your heart and acting upon what it's saying, that's when the universe can give you all what your heart desires. I had a goal, a desire of having an apartment for 1.5 years, or maybe 2 years even. It was one apartment at a certain place that I consciously was thinking about. I had pictures of it hanging on the wall. I literally, and now you think I'm crazy, and I'm happy with that, I literally went by that apartment almost every day for 1.5 years. I even in the darkness once was kissing the wall, giving love to that apartment. And what I was desiring during that process, and listen to me, this was my heart's desire. I consciously was able to think about that one apartment. I consciously was able to create an idea of what I truly wanted. But universe knows better than you. Universe knows better than me. And then I learned really in practice that universe gives you what you desire. What was I desiring? I was desiring a safe, good, perfect spot for my 2 boys. That was my desire. I wasn't consciously aware of knowing what that was. But the universe knows. So what happens? I'm not getting that apartment. I'm getting another one. Just within weeks afterwards, I get noticed by a friend. Guys, I just hired an apartment here, and the upper floor apartment is actually for sale. I thought you may wanted to look at it. 5 days afterwards, I realized, wow, this is the apartment. Perfect spot. And I could share these stories over and over again. But I did the same thing with my partner, with my love. And I didn't mention Lyndsay, but I was working on the idea, what is my partner like? What is important to me? And I consciously could create an image of what that is. But I didn't know. I didn't know that would be Lyndsay. But I can tell you, when the manifestation of what your heart's desire is happening, it will happen. And it's easy. So listen to your desire, discover your desire, literally ask yourself questions. What am I really desiring? I will end this with a quote by my favorite motivational speaker, and I want you to think about it. His name is Les Brown, and he said the thing that has had most impact on me as one phrase. He said, most people die at an age of 25, but don't get buried until they're 85. Why? They haven't found their desire, or if they found it, they haven't dared to live it. Thank you so much for having me, for having us here today. Sheena, you are here managing this perfectly.
My goodness, that was a powerful way to end there. You die at 25, but you're not buried till 85. It's like, that's just absolutely incredible. Wow. I love what you said about, yourself and Lyndsay, is that the universe, I've realized as well, if we just ask the question and let it out there, then the universe has the answer. But oh no, our 2% seems to know better, doesn't it? But the 98% has got all the answers.
Always.
So listen, thank you so much for coming on. And yes, absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to listen to you guys tomorrow.
Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye. So who do we have next? My goodness, we have the most awesome Karen Hunter. I've known Karen now for a couple of years. She is a results mindset coach, founder of Truth and Flow, speaker and consultant with Bob Proctor. And she is passionate in leading people consciously to create a movement of a better world. My goodness, that's easy, isn't it, Karen? It's absolutely easy. And I want to just bring her on here because it would help if she was on here whenever I'm talking to her.
Hello.
So
Well,
Karen,
great introduction.
yeah, I know. I'm going to leave the stage all to you, and I'll see you whenever you're done. See you now. Bye.
Oh, thank you so much. Hi, bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm so honored to talk to you guys and follow these amazing speakers today and for the next 2 days, and thank you for Bjorn and Lyndsay and following them. They were so inspiring. I could just listen to, you all day, which is what we'll be doing for the week. So I consider myself really lucky to be here, and I hope you are. I hope you're getting so much of this, so many light bulb moments, and just so many inspiring tips as well. So if you don't know me, I'm Karen Hunter, and I'm a high performance mentor, like, all these guys. We work at PGI, or we work with Bob Proctor. And I'm so excited to be with you today. I'm going to be here at the same time, this time, for the next 2 days. And I'm so excited for you watching this. You're going to get so much out of this and over, this whole summit. It's so exciting. So first, I just want to start this by helping you to be aware of what you've been telling yourself, maybe, and what you're capable of, because there's this intelligence in life all around us, but we don't give it much thought, do we? Why is that? Because we're so distracted with the mundane. But there's every atom of matter, every small change has this infinite intelligence within it. This infinite intelligence converts acorns into oak trees. It causes water to flow downhill using gravity. It causes night to follow day and winter with summer. This intelligence is talked about in ancient philosophy, the Bible. I'm so excited talking about this because you can probably tell. The Bible, it's talked about in the Bhagavad Gita, it's talked about in the Quran, the Torah, the Book of Mormon, in all the great scientific books. It's talked about, all the world's leaders talk about this, in all the great psychological books. And the most exciting, important thing about this is that it transmutes ideas into form, and we're talking your ideas, So now people have said to me, oh, I'm so over the law of attraction. Somebody actually once said that to me, like it was, it's come in one season and gone out again. The thing is, she wasn't aware that it's happening in every moment. Whether you believe it or not, it's happening. And they say, yeah, I watched The Secret. But the thing is, they're missing this crucial information. And that's what I'm here to give you this week. So you want to be listening and really feel what I'm saying. Be with me on this. This isn't me preaching. This isn't me, this is not some doctrine. We're doing this together. We're all learning. We're all growing. And that's what's so special about this. You and I are supposed to be here. We're in the right place at the right time. Everything operates in an orderly way. And you've probably been wandering around with desire to improve certain areas of your life, So what you're going to hear will enable you to change them, because this is all about you. And the more You know, you can be prosperity and abundant in your thoughts and your feelings. The more you're going to attract to you the conditions of that prosperity. And that includes amazing clients. It includes higher level ideas, removing mental blocks. You know, it includes more money. Who doesn't want that? The perfect dream house. It includes your next goal. It includes really knowing what that next goal is on a deeper level, on the true level, not just some surface thing. You know, something meaningful, something worthy. It's like fun living time with your friends and your family. And you can attract all this to you because of this potent, intelligent energy within you. And we all have it. We all have this. So we've got to know how to use it properly. We've got to know what we're working with. You know, you're not here to pay your bills, and you're not here to binge on Netflix or scroll on Facebook. You have so much potential, but are you using it? So we've got to ask ourselves, what are we in the habit of doing? And not questioning it. You know, what are we routinely doing, thinking every day? What are we thinking? You know, we're willing to give 8 hours a day to a job, maybe. You know, that was me. Sometimes a job we really don't like. Maybe spend 8 hours a day with someone who doesn't align with our soul. Why is it we're putting in too much effort and things aren't moving in the way that we want them to? So we say, oh, this thing, it's not happening. Maybe I'm trying too hard. We go from motivation to burnout so quickly. But your soul wants more. It wants to be more, to have more, to give more. But the mind stories sort of fight this notion that it could be that easy for you. You know, we see other people doing it and we say, well, that's them, you know, I can't do that. So our old stories tell us we can't make it, you know, doing what our soul calls us to do. Those stories are so ingrained in us. They say, like, life isn't that simple. There's no way it could be that easy. So it fights with this logic to make it harder for us because it has very defined ways of what success is. So it throws these scenarios at us. You know, if I don't work hard, then I'll be abandoned by my mum, by my friends, by society. Whatever these little stories are, we're so afraid of the quieter, softer inner voice that's waving in the distance, you know, holding hope in its hands, just going, come to me. And, you know, what if instead of being about effort, it's about listening to what our soul really is calling to us? There's a huge difference between receiving and chasing. And some people I've met, they say, you know, they feel guilty, you know, if it's that easy. But what do you believe about money? Would you feel guilty if someone offers you a check for £1 million or €1 million or $1 million? Because some people might get excited. Some people might freak out. Some people might feel guilty, like, I don't deserve this. I deserve less money, right? You know, I deserve less abundance. So let your heart and soul, you know, they don't care about your past stories. That's the difference between receiving this true direction underneath, like a fear of change. Chasing is when you focus on what you don't have, when you put out the vibration of I don't have and lack over and over again. You know, you could chase things that you don't have, but you think that you do have them. I hope this is making sense. So if you started saying, thank you for this abundance, thank you for this moment, you know, that's different. But when we're in this chasing vibration, we're really saying, I'm incomplete unless I have this thing now. Because the universe hears, oh, I'm incomplete, and says, well, you got it, you know, let's make more incompleteness. Let's find a way to keep this story going for you of how hard life is for you. So if you start with receiving, you know, start with, I am complete. Because when we focus on, I need clients or I really need more money, the more we think we want to get it, the more we're saying that we don't have it. And the more we say we don't have it, you know, we notice our results and, you know, that they're getting worse. Now, this can be tricky if you don't have thoughts running you daily, you know, that you're not enough now. You see, well, that train that has a momentum going already. So it's up to you to slow that train down and change that train. So start with the practice of focusing on what you do have, and you'll notice this almost painful thing to the patterns running you. So start practicing by how grateful you are for having the successful business or the career or the millions in your bank account as of now. Start to realize that you are alive. You know, that's such a wonderful gift in itself. You have the ability to breathe. You have the internet. You know, you have a heart that's beating, and focus on that. Focus on what is true right now in this moment, because your heart has no feelings of lack or believing your old stories. You know, it doesn't care what other people said about you. It doesn't care about what happened yesterday. It doesn't care like how much is in your bank account. You are here to connect to it, to ask it what it wants. Your heart isn't your emotions, because sometimes we get confused with this. Your heart isn't your emotions. Your heart is pure love, pure joy and ease and flow. And it wants the best for you. And, you know, it's all working together. You know, you have the ability to remove all the limitations from your life just by connecting to your heart, just by listening. We don't listen enough, you know. We're always wanting to be heard. Why don't we just listen? And then you can get excited, because only then incredible ideas can show up, but we're not going to hear them over the, you know, the distractions and like the people going, listen to me. One of the things that I've been seeing is that forced effort from our conditioned patterning is leaving. So the things that were successful last year weren't as successful this year. You know, we were believing that the way life was up till now was the truth, and that's being removed from our world, from our psyches. And that can be painful, because, you know, we don't have the comfort of knowing what our future is going to be as once we did. So why is this happening? Because we're learning something new, and that's how to move on from, you know, with the true connection of ourselves. That so rather than changing the outside circumstances to suit us, we have to change on the inside first. And when we take the time to do that, then the external matches inside. So I'm talking about this because I believe that we're moving to a time, like a really important time, and, you know, where we're going to create huge abundance. It's about you connecting to yourself. People always associate value with how much money or assets that they have, and that's nice. But there are some people who inherit 10 million and lose it and suddenly have nothing. And then there's people that, you know, could have 10 million, lose it and get it right back. You know, for instance, Elon Musk, he lost all of his money. You know, if he lost all his money, he could gain it all back again. I reckon within a month, right? So isn't this interesting? Like, are they both worth the same amount? You know, this person inherited the money, but never developed a true connection to themselves, you know, their true skills, their gifts, their talents, their creativity, their joy. And this person developed it internally. So if the money leaves, they still have value. So we're here to help you redefine what value is, because value has nothing to do with how much money you possess. Remember, every pound you've ever made came from you. Every person you've ever gone on a date with came from you. They were interested in you. So one of our biggest mistakes we make is we get excited about the thing that we're chasing versus us. Another thing we mistake, you know, we make is that we think we should be somewhere else in our life. You know, I should be this by now. I should be there. So you've got to understand that everything is unfolding perfectly. And think of nature. It's not rushing to be somewhere. Like a plant, like this plant, a tree, it's not bothered about what I think of it, right? It's not, if I said to you, stupid plant, why are you stood there like that? It's not going to be like, oh, shall I do this? It doesn't care, you know, it's not bothered. And you are the most highest form of nature. Don't forget that. You know, you are natural creation, your imagination, your focus, your will, your intuition, your memory. But are you using them? And these are our natural gifts that we've inherited. This is our true, rich heritage. And wouldn't you love to develop these gifts? Because you can so easily and so simply. You've just got to get some guidance sometimes, or you don't, you do or you don't. So, you're also a source of every pound that you've ever made. You're the source of everything you've ever done. Doesn't that say something about you? How powerful that you really are? So, is this power you or what you're connected to? Well, when you really connect to you at a deep level, I'm talking deeper than ever before, that's where your treasure lies, your gifts, your talents. You may never have discovered them. But when you connect, you receive better, faster, higher level ideas. You begin to transcend beliefs that have been holding you back maybe 10, 20, 30 years. So think of yourself as a leaf from a tree, okay? So the tree is the source of what you are, and then there's the source of what creates that tree, right? And then when you discover that, you start to go, wow, I don't really need to do that much at all. And this is embracing our rich heritage. We're so busy in our mind, like putting out fires in our life. We don't even need to do that. But if you're not open to all this, you might, you can still move forward, but it'll be a struggle. We can't stop micromanaging our lives, right? We think it's all our mind's job to get this one life right. Have you ever tried to give advice to or help to somebody and they're almost resisting your help? Well, imagine that's the same for your soul, for the universe who wants to help you. And if you're going to resist and struggle against that and what's resonating, let me tell you, it's a really rough ride. It's just trying to help and you're resisting. I did that. Until I had no option. I had to surrender because my way wasn't working. I didn't have all the answers. How could I? I didn't know anything at all. I was coming from my paradigms, that logic, and that logic is so limited. You see, our paradigms, our patterns created as a defense mechanism. They're the things that hold us back. They're the things that don't let us do the things that we love to do. So we get fear and we get doubt and we get worried, and we have to release these to get to the flow of higher level ideas. Okay, so don't we measure life based on how long that we can live it? And because of that, there are a lot of people doing what they can to strategize and protect. They barricade themselves in and they stay where they are. They tell themselves that they're safe. There's a lot of people worrying about things that are going to happen next year. I see a lot of people that are always worrying and doing what they can to protect a life that they're not living. And the more that you're not living it, the more you're expressing a life that isn't that valuable. If you're not living to your full potential, how can it be taken as value? There's no growth there. What if you knew that your connection with yourself had so much value? Because a lot of times we make decisions based on not connecting and not having a value, based on saving money. And that's screaming to the universe that money is more important than your soul. Now, this all might trigger you. And I'm doing my job if it is, because I'm going to be upsetting your paradigms, your beliefs, your identity, who you think you are. You're so much more underneath. So when we make these decisions and say, yeah, but I can't afford it, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, you're actually asking for more of that. You're sacrificing money for what your soul wants. But the thing is, now life is taking those external things from us, the money, the relationships. It's saying, okay, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to take these things outside of you that you put too much importance on, away from the true you. Now, your vibration could be bringing in money to you. And so you're in a good position. But for those people that say, I'm trying as hard as I can, I'm working all the time and I can barely make ends meet, I think, what if the problem is that you're working too hard? What if the problem is that your effort is leaving you totally depleted? And because that's your vital energy. And you need that to keep your vibe high. So what if the problem is is that your old story is doing all this work and you're not reaching that higher frequency? What if actually the part of you that's been working needs to be seen and released so you can raise higher? And we see this, we see burnout everywhere because the fear, the doubt, and the worry is a source of motivation that's not coming from the real us. What if instead of hard work, we use vibration energy? Woo! What if instead of staying in the past story that's working so hard, because maybe unconsciously you'll feel abandonment from a parent, from your mum, or from your friends, or everybody else that's working hard, or you're working hard so you want to feel that your dad will be proud of you. What if instead you saw that block, your old story, and remove it with love and end up really happy? Now notice that part of you that says, it's not easy. Karen, you don't know my story. It's easy for you to say, or, I've got to figure all this out. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's your paradigm talking. Let it be there. Allow it to talk. Let it do its thing. Focus on the real you. And that's easy for me to say because I was where you are and I made the decision that I'd had enough. I was the one constant element in different areas of life attracting those circumstances, because life is a mirror of you. And if you think your life is rubbish and things aren't happening, then you're getting feedback. It's a mirror of what's going on within you. So the number one thing that every person wants is to be seen. What's going to make a change on this planet? We can shift things when we start to learn how to see ourselves. The old paradigm taught us to think positive. And by thinking positive, aren't we implying that there's a negative? So I want to offer you to love everything that comes up, everything you perceive as darkness. We can listen, and we can be aware that they are just stories. They're not us. So let's assess how to know what your heart wants. So let's say you're thinking about quitting a job or starting a business. You feel good starting a business, doing what you love, but your mind immediately kicks in and it says, well, I've got no idea how to, or I want to quit the job, but I'm supposed to get a promotion in 2 months. Well, the thing is with that, you're ignoring your body and you're dropping your vibration to the paradigm, your story. And we do this for so long, it's so familiar. Because once you're in your head explaining why you're keeping something in your life, you can already know vibrationally that you don't want it. You can feel it in your body. Does your body feel good when you think about this thing? And vibration is just another word for feeling. That's all it is. You would never explain why you want to keep everything that you love in your life. There's no part of me that says, I think I'll keep my daughter Elizabeth because she's going to look after me when I'm old. No, she's in my highest alignment to myself. There's no doubt about it. And I can feel that in my body. That's the difference over a logical choice and a heart soul-based choice. And unfortunately, many people are scared into doing something that feels not so good, but is illogical, sorry, not illogical. Because these people, we've done it. I've done it. I did it all my life. The same applies with this summit. If I was in my ego, like my paradigm speaking to you, you'd see right through it. You'd sense fear, chasing, and manipulation. And life isn't going to work with that. That's why we see so many people on social media shouting at us to buy, buy, buy. So for the 9 speakers here at this summit, it's not a case of I want to get something. It's let's go. Let's create change and meaning together. So if you're coming up with reasons to keep something, you don't want it. It's part of your logical story. So we have to let go of the grasp on what we think we want, Let's remember, so everybody's seen Marie Kondo. She does this with clothes. Why aren't we doing this with our belief systems and situations? So my point in all of this is that the world is on a frequency that is more love-based than achievement-based. So heart over I have to get and fear-based belief. So If you decide to stay in your old ways, your limiting beliefs and habits, while everyone else is changing, you might find it a bit of a struggle. So you've got to pivot to what your heart and soul wants, and that propels you forward. You know, this is about what you want. But more than that, it's the process, the journey is fun. And I think life is saying to us now, let me do it. Stop trying, stop forcing. Life is trying to do it through you. So if you're struggling to achieve what you want, you're struggling to achieve lots of money, if you're struggling to achieve freedom and security, you're going to struggle. The reason is we're now in a time where abundance begins on the inside, not the outside. It starts there. Because in the 80s, it was fine to achieve with lots of effort. In the 80s, the consciousness was at a place where you could leave the victim mentality and move into this achiever mentality and make things happen. But now we have enough people that have achieved things, you know, and they became depressed soon after. They discovered the lie of when I get that, I'll truly be happy. They didn't get happy first. And we've experienced this paradigm shift in the past 2 years with COVID about loving the process over the outcome. I believe like life is going to be removing those old stories, and that can be scary, but it's happening. So you've never seen what life wants to do when you're not carrying all these limitations. It's exciting times. You know, your identity is who you think you are. If you're trying to figure out why life is getting harder and harder, it's like having a brand new iPhone and downloading Windows 95 onto it. You know, you're using old software, and the old software tells you we've got to do things this way. These are the rules. Effort. So your best your best asset, right, is your connection to your true self. That's where your true value is. Oh my goodness. But you've got to go deeper. Okay. There's so much more beneath. And when you remove these old limitations, the universe is going to fill that void.
I think you
My
could just keep
time's up.
going, Karen. I think you could just keep going and going all the way and going. What other gem is she going to come out with right now? My goodness, I love the plant. I love the plant bit. Whenever you said that, it goes, look at that. The plant doesn't care. The plant's just being itself. Wouldn't that be brilliant if everybody could learn to be like nature? The tree's just being a tree. The tree doesn't say to the next tree, well, you're bigger than me, you're smaller than me, you're fatter than me, you're slimmer than me.
No.
That was a wonderful analogy there. So my goodness, Karen, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. That's for sure with you. It's just, as you get going, you just come out with these gems. Like, honest to goodness, they're absolutely awesome. Get happy first. Abundance on the inside, not on the outside. That's what permission to be rich is all about, isn't it? That absolutely puts it in form there. So listen, thank you so much, Karen. Absolutely loved you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll see it. So be back at this time for Karen next week, tomorrow. Same time, same place tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm here same time, same place tomorrow. I'll see you all then.
I'll see you then. Absolutely super. Wow. Are you not all blown away with all these amazing people? And here comes another one. So without further ado, we've got Barbara, and she's a kindness advocate. Oh, Barbara is just one of the most amazing people that I have ever met and had the privilege to be around. She's a global thought leader. She's a mentor, personal coach, business coach, and a public speaker. And she's all about growing into prosperity. So without further ado, I welcome you to the stage, Barbara. You're absolutely incredible. And again, I'm going to be bowled over by everything you've got to say. I'm going to hand it over.
Yes. Thank you, Sheena. First of all, I loved what Karen had to say about treasuring what is inside. And when we treasure what is inside, then that can never be taken away. So today we're going to talk about growing into prosperity. And growing into prosperity is the same, you could say, the same thing that Karen said. We grow from the inside out. When we grow inside, your outside will change. It's never the reverse. So, and today we're going to talk about a topic that's very close to my heart, and that is talking about what is holding you back right now. Each one of us, we have, like, you could say, an energetic field which is holding us back, full of these beliefs which are dimming our light. So, and we are going deep into that today. What is holding you back? And at the end of my 25 minutes here, I'm going to give you some exercises. I want you to get out of this session with really a heightened self-awareness, a deeper insight, a lot of aha moments where you say, oh my God, I had no idea that it is me. It is some old thought pattern in me which is holding me back to, you could say, step up in life. And let me give you an example of how beliefs, what we think about ourselves, how we view the world, creates and shapes our reality. I love simple and I love practicality. I'm deeply spiritual, but I love to keep it grounded. So let's say we have Benny. Benny is 8 years old. And he made his first big test for mathematics. Benny failed the test and he came home with a 4 out of 10. And the guy is just scared, and he comes home. His father sees the results. In school, the teacher was already hard on him, like, Benny, you didn't study, what happened? So he comes home with his mathematics test. And there his father shouts at him, oh, what a loser you are. You didn't study enough. Next time you have to study more. You're bad at mathematics, and really he gets all that negativity. He's very sensitive. At that age, we still absorb a lot. So what is happening at that moment in Benny? A negative seed is planted within him. That emotion, the shock from what the teacher said, what his father said, is something which emotionally shakes him up. It shakes him up so much that he starts doubting everything about himself. So next time he has a test, how will he approach that test? He will approach that test with a huge fear, saying to himself, well, I'm a nobody, I'm bad in mathematics. So that, you could say, that one's experience that he has starts to color his reality already. And even when he would make a better test, he would still doubt himself. And maybe next test is bad again. And he would say, see, let's now take John. John is 8 years old. He made his first test in mathematics. And he has a 4 out of 10. But the teacher tells John, well, John, you had some bad luck. Tell me, boy, what was it that you didn't understand so well? How can we help improve you? And John has okay, maybe there's some stuff that I still didn't understand too well, or that and maybe next time better. He comes home and his parents are like, oh, John, can we help you? Is there something that didn't work so well? It's okay. It's just a test. Mathematics test is just a tiny, tiny percent of who you are. You're so much bigger than just a mathematics test. And he's he starts playing and he forgets all about the test. And next time he just knows, okay, I have to prepare myself well. If I have questions, I'd better ask them immediately to my teacher. And then he gets that confidence that it's not all about mathematics in life. So next time he takes a test, the way he approaches it is from a very different place. And that's just one tiny experience which can create a belief. From birth till now, maybe you're 30 years old, 40, I'm 51. So I had 51 years of all experiences creating beliefs. One of the beliefs that has held me back long time in life, just to give you an example, was that if you said no to toxic people, if you said no to negative people, you were a bad person. You were not a good person. And that has kept me distracted and off track for a very long time because I was always busy pleasing others instead of keeping my eye on the direction that I wanted to go in life. I was the person who was there for everybody, even for those who were draining my energy, all those victims who were repeating that same story over and over again. And I was too, like, I wanted to be the good person. I was too scared, like to put down the phone and say, no, I don't have time for that. I'm not letting my life run by the agenda of other people. So what did I discover? That belief had held me back in a big way. And then I discovered that belief, in fact, was more a lack of self-respect. If I respected myself truly, if I wanted to shine the light within me, I had to learn to set healthy boundaries. And I had to learn to take distance from people who were toxic and had all that negative energy. And I was not, like getting rid of that magnetic field, which is full of limiting beliefs, is a process. You build, like you build like 30, 40, 50 years, you build like that entire prison of beliefs around you. So it doesn't get away overnight. And you get confronted many times with beliefs you thought who were already gone. So what I would ask you today is to look within your life. What kind of beliefs do you have about yourself and the world that may holding you back? Maybe you grew up in a family where your dad and mom were working, let's say middle class in a factory, and all you heard your entire life, you have to work very hard for little money. And that's all you heard your entire life. So for you, let's say, making 3,000 euros or 3,000 pounds or $3,000 is a lot of money. And that's an entire, you could say, a belief structure that is built around that. You think that the ceiling that people can have in a month is maybe 5,000. And maybe you think it's not for me because you are ingrained with what your parents told you dozens and dozens of years, that you have to work hard for little money. But if you maybe were raised in a family of millionaires, where 30,000 euros is just peanuts, maybe 100,000 euros is peanuts, then you open, like you open your mind and you open your focus. And it's possible where someone who is raised in a family where 3,000 a month was a lot, they can never believe that some people make 100,000 a month. So once you see it, you can just let go of all numbers and go for the infinite. Because I loved what Karen said, and I strongly believe in that. We came into this lifetime to blossom, to shine the light from within us. We are born into a society which from childhood on dims that light in many ways. And it's the other way around, like schools and parents, but they all had the best intentions because they were, you could say, programmed in the same way, and they were just repeating programming. So let's get rid of that programming. We are now in a generation who can do that. I think the time has never been better to do that and to let go and know that the light is from within us, shining from within us. So if people sometimes ask me, like Barbara, like I want to become, let's say you are passionate about baking. That's a program we all have to. The program says you have to have a title of a CEO or a manager to become a wealthy person or to become a rich person. I think that's bullshit. I think it's about the light, the passion that you share. So if you're passionate about baking, bake. And your passion will make you want to share it to the world. Your passion will make you obsessed about baking. You will create novelties that nobody in, you could say, the baking world has before. And you have your unique vision on it. So don't become an accountant if you're passionate about baking because the world told you that you will make more money in being an accountant. No, in following the outside, chasing the outside money and becoming an accountant, which is out of alignment with who you are, you will just, you could say, first of all, you lose, and you will never know how much you were meant to blossom in what you're passionate about. I strongly believe that we have that seed planted in our heart, a seed with a gift, which we can, like nurture. And maybe my seed was to blossom as a rose. Maybe you were born to blossom as an orchid. Maybe Sheena was born to blossom as an oak tree. Maybe someone else as a tulip. And our society says, well, we all have to become tulips. The roses, they are not so valuable as the tulips. Or the oak trees, we all have to become an oak tree. So all those roses are so unhappy because they are not an oak tree. And we listen to that. We listen to the outside world saying who we have to be someone. We are someone. We are born worthy. The treasure is within us. When we develop that treasure, those gifts, those talents, those skills, which we are born with, we will always be of value to the world. And in giving value, in being of service, you will align to a vibration of abundance, because you will start from the inside out, your inner abundance, and the world will just reflect that. Well, you will attract new opportunities, you will attract new people. So it's those opportunities, and that abundance comes in many forms. Do not judge how the abundance comes. Some people say, whoa, I want immediately like $100,000 on my account, 100,000 euros. Maybe you just said no to a person that you thought was not so valuable in your life and could, guide you to the 100,000. So do not judge how the opportunities and in which form they come. Just say yes to life and let you be guided by your passion. Let you be guided by your gifts and joy. Follow the joy. I think that's so important. I don't know, maybe some of you might know, 18 years ago, I survived a stage 4 skin cancer. So I know very well that each day can be our last. And since, when I was told I had only 6 more months to live, but I promised myself if I would survive, first of all, I would live each day as if it was my last. Secondly, I would dedicate myself to leave a positive legacy. So every day, live fully. Don't say tomorrow, oh, like my passion, well, I have a job, my passion, I'll start tomorrow. No, start now. But before you start, it's important to do the exercise of first that self-reflection exercise. What is it that is holding me back in my finances? Which beliefs are holding me back right now? Which limiting beliefs do I have about money? Which limiting beliefs do I have about relationships? Maybe you're single and you never found the perfect partner. if you're, like deliberately single, that's okay. I think that's fantastic. Not everybody is born to be in a marriage or in a relationship. I have no judgment about that. But if you have that deep desire to be in a long-term relationship and you didn't have it, look at your beliefs. Did you grow up in a house where there was lots of fights and you have like a belief that relationships are meant to go wrong? So look at your beliefs in your relationships. Look at your beliefs in health. How are you treating your body? What are your beliefs in health? Then what are your beliefs in your career? So if you go, like go over all those areas in your life and just look, like, what is it that has been holding me back until now? Are you, first of all, are you happy in the body you are living in right now? If not, write down what it is. Are you happy with your finances right now? If not, write why not. Are you happy with your relationship right now? If not, write down. And then you will see in writing that down what it is, and look at what you wrote down. Is that confirming a belief you hold about that aspect or that issue? So in first, because the more you get rid of those beliefs, the more, you could say, pure you come in your vibration, the higher you start to vibrate, because those you could say those magnetic fields that were negative and held you back are just dissolving. It's no struggle. It's with ease. It goes with ease, because you will see for what it is. It's an illusion. It's a simple thought pattern. It does not exist unless you believe it. If you don't believe it anymore, it's not even a belief for you anymore. And it just vanishes out of your life. Now, I have no problems anymore with not picking up the phone. I value my time. I'm very dedicated to what I want to achieve in life. I'm very dedicated to leave that positive legacy. And I'm no longer that person who everybody calls to just ramble and to just complain. No. And can people who are in real trouble call me? Of course they can. But not those people who repeat the same story like 20 years after another, just because they love their suffering. You could say they love their pain. So look at yourself. Are you attached to your suffering? Are you attached to the story? Are you attached to those beliefs because they make you feel safe? Because it's something you feel comfortable in? It's something you knew your entire life? And you could say it's like those beliefs are like a prison. Many people live in that prison. And instead of, the door is always open. Remember that. The door of your prison is open. But instead of going outside the prison, what do people do? They lay a cushion in their prison. They set a couch and they say, well, it's not so bad here in my prison. I'm okay here. I can look, I have a view. And that's what most people do. They just stay in the prison of their beliefs. They let their life run by, let's say you have a limiting belief because you have no formal education. And your entire life, the focus you have on what you can do in life is held back. Like you block yourself because you say, I cannot get a proper job. I have no formal education. Knowing that there are a lot of billionaires who never had formal education, but you just use something to shrink. You just use something to stay in that comfortable prison and to say, well, Barbara, I'm sorry, you don't know my story. I am not interested in the story because it's just a story. It's something you tell yourself and it's an illusion. You can let go of that now. Unless it empowers you. If the story empowers you, if you use, maybe you had some very powerful negative experiences, use it as fuel. And that's what we will be talking about tomorrow. How to use your past challenges as a fuel instead of a prison. So your past challenges can be what pushes you to get out of the prison, because the door is always open. The door of the prison is never closed, but most people just sit in the couch in the prison of their limiting beliefs, not first of all, not developing the self-awareness, because they are surrounded with people who are sitting in the same prison, who are conditioned in the same way, and they do not see it. That's why I call you today. That's the wake up. Look where you're sitting. Are you sitting in the prison? Are you letting your life run by stories? I don't have a formal education. I don't have enough connections. I don't have any money to start an own business. Nobody supports me. Well, there were people who had all four of those and became billionaires. And it's not even about the billionaire. It's about sharing who you are, blossoming, nurturing that seed within you.
Wow, Barbara. I'm just sitting here just in awe of you. I just love everything you said. And isn't it amazing how it's all connected and how we say it differently and it will land differently with different people? Excuse me. So one of the things you said was about prison of your beliefs. And yet Lyndsay said, you know, our self-imposed prison. And then values is coming up again so many times, is that the standards that we set for ourselves. So absolutely incredible. I'm so excited waiting for you again tomorrow. I'm making all these notes, and let me tell you, I've just like personally developed out here.
Yes, your vibrations are just rising and rising.
I won't be able to sleep tonight, let me tell you. I'll be literally be pondering all this information in my head. So absolutely appreciate your time. Fantastic. And we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay. See you, Barbara.
Bye-bye.
Right. My goodness, we've got 2 more speakers to go. You keep on. I know that every single person has their own fans base literally coming along. And so the next person to come up is Billy Neal. And he is a client enrollment expert. So the magic of mental selling. Wow. How to set your mind on effortlessly enrolling clients. I absolutely love Billy. So I am so excited to have him on here. Like everybody, absolutely. You're all totally, totally amazing. And so here is the most amazing Billy. And I am going to literally pass the microphone across to you, Billy. Off you go.
Thank you, Sheena. I appreciate it so much. Hello, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here and speak with you all today. Like Sheena just mentioned, my name is Billy Neal. I'm the co-founder of the Effortless Sales Mastery and a program called the Unlocked Athlete. And I am a sales and mindset coach from Indiana. And today I'm going to speak to you about your obligation to share your God-given talents with the rest of the world. Because that, my friends, is why you are blessed with all the talents that you've been given, so that you can share them with as many people that need them as possible, and ultimately add unlimited value and joy to their lives. So today I'm going to start with a question, and that's, what do you do best? I mean, what do you do better than anyone else in the entire world? Really take some time to think about that. What is that for you? And don't tell me or yourself that, you know, Billy, I don't do anything better than anyone else in the world, right? Because the fact of the matter is you do. Like, God blessed every single one of us with some sort of talent, right? Some of us were blessed with athletic abilities that no one else has. Some of us can figure out what's going wrong with a car just by listening to it, right? That is definitely not my talent. I'll just be honest with you. Someone out there can bake cookies better than anyone else in the world. So if you take one thing away today out of all these amazing speakers, take this. You're blessed, you're highly favored, and you are talented, and you need to share those gifts with as many people as possible. So conversely, for every talent, right, we all have a corresponding need that needs to be fulfilled, right? There's someone out there in the world searching for that best cookie recipe. I mean, we see football stadiums and basketball arenas packed with thousands of people every weekend to be entertained by some of the world's greatest athletes. And as you guys have heard through pretty much every speaker today, Priya said it, when I first heard it, that's when I first tuned on, was hearing Priya speak. And she said, money is just a symbol. And money is simply a reward for whatever service or problem you solve, whatever service you provide or problem you solve. So obviously, the bigger problem solved and needs fulfilled, the larger the financial reward. So that's it. I mean, it's a pretty simple design, really, but we make it so complicated. We make it overly complicated by accepting our limiting beliefs. Barbara just shared that at the end, accepting our limiting beliefs. What story are you telling yourself, right? When we accept our limiting beliefs of what we're actually capable of, not only do we limit what we're capable of, but think about this, we limit our creator. We literally, there's millions and billions, probably billions of people that put limits and constraints on the power that created worlds, on the power that created infinite galaxies. And really soon enough, we start to believe this story of lack and I can't, and we believe that we're average. We believe we have no extraordinary talent. And once we accept that belief, guys, we fail to share our blessings with the rest of the world. So my second question to you would be, are you complacent? I mean, are you satisfied with the way things are in your life right now? I would guess, just based on all the people that I've spoken to over the past couple of years, that the large majority would answer that with an emphatic no, right? But it's easier for us to tell anyone, including ourselves, why we cannot do something than it is to actually face our fear and do it. It's easier to stay in the shadows and to go along with the flow of what everyone around you is doing than it is to stand out and risk being judged. I mean, it's easier to be a wallflower than it is to share your talents proudly. And listen, I know this from personal experience, right? I'll share with you something that happened literally today. So you guys know that I'm not up here like grandstanding, acting like I'm greater than you. Like, I run into this on a daily basis, fear of being judged. I was asked to make a video that potentially thousands of people would see on the internet, and I froze, put it off. I put it off for actually like a week and a half, maybe longer than that. And when I stopped today and thought about like, why am I just now getting around to doing this? It was simply the fear of what people might say about me. What are people going to say when they see my video? Are they going to make fun of me? Are they going to make fun of the gap between my teeth? Right? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to judge the words that I'm saying? So I allowed that to almost stop me from doing something really, really cool, right? Listen, I've stayed at multiple jobs longer than I wanted to because I had attached my success and security to a title that I carried. I didn't take jobs or follow dreams. Like, I've killed so many dreams in the past because I was afraid of what people would think of my decisions. And I mean, ultimately, what they would say about me. I mean, my story is probably similar to what somebody watching this is going through right now, right? I had a really comfortable job. I mean, I worked with one of my best friends, and when I left, some of my friends and family thought I was nuts, right? I had amazing benefits. I was paid really well. But guys, inside, I was dying. Like my personal life was a wreck for the same reason that my career was stagnant. I wasn't growing or giving. I wasn't challenging myself in any area of my life. And listen, those talents that I had mentioned earlier that God had blessed me with, you know, the ability to lead, to connect with others, to hear them, right? To let them know that they're seen. I buried my gift to coach others and share my talents because I was afraid of being judged. I was afraid of what others would think if I shared my real thoughts and the real me. I mean, it literally took a divorce and my life being turned upside down for me to realize that it was time for me to invest in myself and stop investing my time and energy and potentially what someone else might think about me. Right? I realized I had to invest in myself, not just physically, right? Because I let myself get comfortable there as well. But I had to do a deep dive mentally and spiritually. I had to do a self audit of who I really was and what I had to offer the world. Because I can be completely honest with you, at the end of 2019, November of 2019, I had no answer to either of the previous two questions. I had to really remember what my God-given talents were and the way the universe works, which is always perfect and amazing and not in any way that you would think. A person halfway around the world helped me to find the answers to those questions through a program that she taught. She coached me. She still coaches me. Every Monday on 8, we meet at 8 a.m. my time, we meet. She's halfway around the world, right? And the really cool thing is you're going to get to hear from her right after I'm finished speaking, actually. And her name's Nadine. She's an amazing speaker, right? And what took me years to realize was that I had the creative talents and leadership skills that a very specific group of people was searching for. Look, and when their need for coaching matched my creative talents, I was blessed financially, right? So it took me going through all of these challenging things to like figure out what that equation was, right? I have a great skill set, right? I'm really good at coaching. I'm really good at sales. And I found a group of people, a very specific group of people that needed that help. And once I did that, it unlocked the floodgates financially. So you need to express your unique talents. You have a skill that is unique in its expression to you alone. And I can tell you, when you're sharing that skill, when you're sharing that talent, you lose track of time. I'll share this morning. I was doing one of my coaching calls for the Effortless Sales Mastery, and I have to be super aware of the time because I will just talk and talk and talk and talk because I lose track of time. I get so pumped up. I get so energized by sharing and helping this group of people that I'll lose track of time, right? So I'm going to challenge you. I want you to think of what is your talent and what's the unique way in which you express it. I mean, really take some time to think about what that is. What's that one thing you could talk about for hours? What's that one thing you would do for free? What is that certain something that has you buzzing while you're doing it? Like I said, I love to talk and connect with others. Like I was always the kid in class that got in trouble for talking. So I love to talk and connect with others. I'm obsessed with the power of our minds and human potential. I also love to coach athletes, coach basketball and soccer for years. I mean, I love pretty much every sport there is. And something else, I love selling. I've done it I've have about 18 years of sales experience. Every job I've had has been in some sort of sales capacity. So I love the art of selling. So when I started to think about creating my businesses, I thought of how could I integrate all of my favorite things to do, right? How could I do that? How could I integrate all of my favorite things to do? And really the result of that was 2 coaching programs that help people just like you achieve their goals. Now, they're very specific group of people, right? Athletes, right? Athletes. Like I help athletes. I'm not a personal trainer physically. I am a personal trainer of their minds. I help them shift their paradigms. I help them break through their limiting beliefs of how much they can lift, how fast they can run, what they can achieve. Can I start? Can I not start? Right? Can I get this record? Right? All of that, the answer to all of those is an emphatic yes, they can. Yes, it takes a lot physically for an athlete, but it also takes a lot mentally. So I help a very specific group of people with my one coaching program with my co-founder, David, right? My other program, I help coaches and consultants who struggle to effectively enroll clients, right? And I help them master the sales process, right? So the next thing I would have you think about is this. How can your specific talents serve others? I mean, honestly, that, in my opinion, is why we are here. I mean, is that the purpose of life? In my opinion, yeah, that's heavily what it is. To use your specific God-given talents to help each other get through life. Like, how can you help? How can you help everyone you come into contact with? One of the things I like to do is I think about this, and I want to challenge you guys to do this next time you go anywhere. If you go over to someone's house, if you go out to eat, whatever you're doing, I want you to do this. I want you to give. Give something. Take a card. Take a thank you. Take something, right? Give something. Give a prayer. Give gratitude. Give a silent prayer. Give a thank you. Give a smile, right? How can you help everyone you come into contact with, right? So I want you to think about all these amazing speakers that you've heard up until now and what Sheena has put together, which is amazing. I mean, we're simply using our talents to help all of you raise your awareness about your birthright to be rich. Think about what I just said, your birthright to be rich. And it is your birthright to be rich, right? So when you combine your individualized talent with the laser focus of serving others, that's when you unlock the key to your unlimited financial abundance. There is absolutely no way that you will not be rewarded abundantly when you follow the formula of using your specific God-given talent, right, with the intention of serving others, right? And as you guys have heard time and time again, we live in an abundant universe. There is no such thing as lack. One of my favorite things to do, my daughter is 10, and she has my heart and she has my mind. And I absolutely love it because she looks up at the sky and she's inspired me. She looks up at the night sky and she asks, how? Simply, how? How are there that many stars? She understands, like we watch videos on YouTube, and she understands that we're only seeing a fraction of the night sky. And she understands that for all of those stars we see, that there's planets around those stars, and it goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And that same power, like I said earlier, the same power that created the universe, that created worlds, is flowing to and through you for you to create whatever it is you want, right? There is no such thing as lack. And I'm just telling you, there's absolutely no way that you will not be rewarded abundantly when you follow that formula of using your specific talent with the intention of serving others. Okay. I talked about what I do at the Effortless Sales Mastery. I help coaches and consultants all over the world master the art of selling and change their mindsets around what selling really is. And in turn, they enroll a bunch of people into their amazing programs and help them out, which helps those enrollees achieve their dreams, heal from emotional trauma, and grow their businesses. So by me sharing my skill set in my unique way, I create a snowball of abundance, right? And like I just mentioned, it's infinite, right? It just goes on and on and on and on. So once you figured out what your unique talent is, ask yourself another question. How can I help? So many people mess this part up by asking a simple question. And one of the things I go over in when I'm working with people, my sales enrollees, is the importance of framing, right? So how do we frame a question? So instead of framing the question of how can they help, many people will ask, what's in it for me? Right? What's in it for me? That's the wrong question to ask. So just in changing your mental dialogue from what's in it to me, for me, to how can I help? You are aligning yourself with the spirit of the universe. And that, my friends, is why I titled this Your Moral Obligation to Share Your Talents and Abilities with the Rest of the World. It's your duty, your gift, right? Your gift and your message may be the words that change someone else's life. Case in point, I worked with a company that helped men heal from the pain of divorce and accept their role in the failure of their marriage through an amazing coaching program called Thrive. And during my time there, I spoke to hundreds of guys who had walked the same walk that I had walked about a year earlier, right? And one day, it was like a bolt of lightning hit me out of nowhere. I realized how I was using my God-given talent of coaching, along with my sales skills and my life experience, to help not only the company I worked for, but the men I was speaking with daily. I was doing all this from the mindset of how can I help and not what's in it for me. And I was able to take my experience from the most challenging, and if any of you have gone through divorce, like my heart is for you, you know how challenging, right? And difficult time in my life, and use that mess as my message. It was my moral obligation to share, hey, there is a way through to the other side, right? So I have two exercises for you, right? I want you to think about the one thing that gets you buzzing, right? What is that for you? For me, it's sports and sales. That's it. I love both of those things. And I could literally talk to you all day about them. So what is that for you? What do you do better than anyone else in the world? Okay. I want you to write it down in detail. Secondly, I want you to make a detailed description of who you want to help. What are those person's dreams, desires? What are their challenges? Why haven't they been able to accomplish their dreams so far? How can your unique talents and skills help them achieve that desire? And so tomorrow, join me and the rest of these speakers again, and I'm going to share with you how to take those challenging moments, those moments where you really wanted to quit, when you were questioning everything, and flip the script on your story you're telling yourself, okay? And use that story to help as many people as you possibly can. So once again, my name is Billy Neal. I'm so grateful to have shared this time with you guys. And thank you, Sheena, for having me.
Yeah, I just love it. You could come out with little one-liners. They're absolutely brilliant. Like, I thought I'd finised writing for you and you got flipped the script. Well, like, there you go. I mean, I'm taking this all. I'm taking them all on board for me. Use that mess as your message.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely love it, love it, love it. Wow, Billy, that's absolutely awesome. I just loved sitting there watching you. And I'm going to summarize what everybody has been saying. Well, we have got one more amazing speaker.
Yep.
But for now, Billy, same time, same place.
Yep.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. See you soon. Bye. Oh, there you go. He went off really, really quickly. He got himself off there without me even moving him. And here we go with the wonderful Nadine. Nadine is a business wizard and money whisperer. Ignite the magic in your soul. Well, I just absolutely love that. I cannot wait to hear what you're going to say, Nadine. So completely over to you. Off you go. Oh, not me, you.
Thank you, Sheena, so much. And thank you for putting this all together. We have learned so amazingly much this whole afternoon and evening, or perhaps morning if you're overseas. And I would like to kind of bring this to a point where probably a couple of people are really waiting for. Let's talk about money. I mean, it's really cool to talk about mindset. And as a mindset coach, I love it too. But when we're on the permission to get rich, no, the permission, to be rich, you listened to Lyndsay, so she spoke about being. So the permission to be rich is really wonderful. But then once you have it, so let's have a look at how to really create it. So I have always some of those next to me, and I'm also going to share how you can get them, because it's really fun to play and speak about real money, especially if we talk about getting rich. So I really want to also kind of put a disclaimer here, because all the things that have been talked about today are not less important. Priya talked about abundance. It was talked about the heart and become yourself and love and friendship, and all of that is absolutely riches, right? And so that's why I thought I'd love to talk about the money side today. So I'm a money whisperer, mindset coach, and it took me to be flat broke to actually ask myself the questions, right? So I was doing well before I was broke. I was doing well, had first 1 and later 6 businesses with my husband. And there was a phase, and that's like a long story. And if you want to listen, join me on other places. But there was always a mindset or a feeling of lack of, I have to pay the bills. And even though more money was going in than was going out, I focused on what was going out. And guess what I manifested? At the end of the day, there was no money there anymore. And I was, as I said, flat broke, devastated. And that is where I discovered gratitude. That is where I discovered all the resources that I have that are apart from money. But then I also knew, hey, we've got to pay the bills and we've got to, feed the family. I have 3 kids. And even though all of that is really good, I really want the money too. Kill the mosquito. Anyway, so people started, like, I really went into mindset, personal development and everything. And I was like, mindset is cool, but so how do I transition and translate all of that into money? And that's where I came across the 4 pillars of your money mindset. Yeah, bring me the money, Sheena saying. I love it. Yeah, so today, like, there is a 3-part sequence of things you have to understand about money. So today we're going into understanding the millionaire's mindset so that you can copy the millionaire's thoughts so that you can activate riches. Because can we agree that the millionaires have a certain kind of mindset that actually activates their riches? So I'm going to cover what that is so that you can use this for yourself. So you might want to take pen and paper to write it down. Tomorrow then I'm going to go into the money IQ and EQ and the 4 pillars to grow rich, which means that IQ is what you know and the EQ, the emotional intelligence, is what you feel. So that's what I cover tomorrow, and that's absolutely key to manifest riches. And the third day is the practical money attraction exercises to master money. And that's, again, when I'm going to tell you how you can get these. Well said. It's by the United Fun Company. So we're going to have fun with money. Who is up for it? So let's have some fun with that. Okay, so today we dive into what kind of thoughts do millionaires have. And the thing is that they, first of all, are people too. So they too have their stories, their challenges, their problems in love, in fears, relationships, money decisions. Like, they are, like, we think they don't have problems, or we, those with not yet crossing the millions or having them in the bank account, because in my belief system, as Lyndsay put it very right, I absolutely am sure that I'm a multimillionaire. And now I'm going to show you how it manifests. And it manifested already a huge quantum leap just in September, and I'm on a drive, so you might want to join that. Yeah. So that said, they invest. Okay, full stop. They invest. Write that down. They invest. In what? How much? That's another story. And we're going to go into that. But first of all, they invest. In what do they invest? In themselves, in assets, they use, like, there's 3 ways how to invest. You can invest your time to make money. That's what 96% of the population do. Go to work. You give time for money. You can invest money for money. That's kind of exchanging, real estate, crypto, shares, and all of that. And then the third way is ideas for money. That's where the entrepreneurs are. That's where, ideas manifest into money, because that's how startups come out so big, right? That is also, if you just have an offer, Billy very nicely put it, if you can help another person, that is an idea. That is an offer. And an offer is an idea that gives you money, right? So those are the 3 ways. And a millionaire person always invests. And you have to make sure to use all these buckets, right? It's not enough only personal development, and it's not enough only investing money for money or ideas for money. You need all of it, right? All the at least self-made millionaires have invested in all of it. So you can say, I don't need it. I will do this. I will only do that. You go ahead. But if you want to learn from what works, so do that what works. Make sense? So when millionaires invest, they don't question if they invest, but where they invest. And for that, it's very important to know what are your values, right? So let's take a very simple example like tomatoes. When I go to the supermarket, I can choose biologically, grown tomatoes, regional tomatoes, budget tomatoes, greenhouse potato. I say tomatoes, but it doesn't matter really. So I have to choose which one to choose. And the price difference is a matter of cents, right? If I go to a store and buy a sweater or buy whatever I want to have, so I can choose high quality or low quality, and I know that accordingly I will have it a certain amount of time. So the same goes for assets, for personal development. What are you investing in? Is it quality? Is it quantity? Both might work, right? So it's just really about what are you putting yourself and your resources, which is money, which is thought, which is time, which is connection and all of that. What are you putting in? So Billy also put it very nicely. It's a give and a take. Are you willing to give? Because that's how you get, right? So celebrate that. Celebrate yourself that you have plenty of resources, being it money or not, with which you can exchange into things valuable to you, right? So when I was completely broke, I made a list of things that I wanted, that I thought I need money for, but then I manifested it other ways because I just made my mind up to get what I want. So one of the things were ballet and hip hop classes for my kids. I couldn't afford that. That was like 700 a trimester. And that was, I don't know who is, who has the money for that. I didn't have at the time. Now actually I do. But so now I understand. But I didn't give up on what I wanted. So I went there and I said, hey, I'm a marketing pro. Would you agree to let my kids dance and I'll help you out with marketing? So there I invested some time for money, right? I didn't even get the money. I got my kids to dance. And 700 in a trimester is like 2,100 a year. That's money, right? So also if you say, okay, trades and stuff is really cool. I really want the money. So that also, you have a lot of resources, but sometimes we hold back on them. We hold back on wisdom. We hold back on the network we have. And you're familiar with the sentence, your network is your net worth. So you can potentially ask people to say, hey, there is this really cool, let's say, money mindset course, and I want to invest in it. And right now I don't have the money, but if you give it to me, I'll give it back to you plus 10%. Or twofold, because you're just absolutely sure that you can 10x on it or so. So why not giving it like twice the price, right? So that's why people with this belief, and again, we have covered belief earlier today, with this belief, with this knowledge that you can use your talents, and here referring us to Billy, you can get money. You just have to ask for it. So the question is, do you ask for what you want, right? Because that will translate in your riches, in your assets, in your knowledge, in your client base, in your, or if you're employed, right? Have you actually asked for a raise, right? Because so many people are like, oh, no, it is what it is. And it's true that it is what it is, but it doesn't have to stay what it is because you make the decision to take leadership on that. How cool is that? So with that, Wallace D. Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich said that money will always come by the hand of other people. I'll say that again. Money will always come by the hand of other people. So you actually have to talk to people. So if you're in business, you will want to talk to Billy because he's showing you how to make sales. That will bring money very easily. And he talked about the effortless sales mastery. So how cool about mastering sales effortlessly, right? So that is one way how you can very quickly, even tonight, make money. Just talk to people, tell them about your talents. Just go back and listen to Billy, tell them about your talents, know what you have to offer, and make them an offer, and listen what they say, right? So, but back to the quote, that a deal, like that money will always come by the hand of other people. So what you have to do is to seek out deals, to make an offer. And so with that, and being it knowledge, friendships, like you're always offering a deal. I give you my time. I give you my energies. I give you my knowledge. I give you my, I don't know what, to have fun together. That's why people want to be with you. That's why people want to work with you. And that, in the end of the day, brings you money, right? So when you look at the deal, let's have a look at what that is. So a deal is actually an exchange of energy, right? You give me this, I'll give you that. An exchange. So money is the exchange of a service versus money, right? So there is two ways to get rich. Do you still have your pen and paper? Two ways to get rich. First, you have many deals. It might be many small deals. And you have big deals. And you really get rich when you have many big deals. Many deals, big deals. Many big deals. A lot of money. Okay, so knowing that these two are what are going to make you rich. So there are the 4 money EQ pillars that play into those strategies of making you rich. The first is, and I think Karen talked about this a lot, is about, can you see the value? Right? Karen just said it. So simple, just offer. That's right. So can you see the value of a deal? Which also means, can you appreciate the value? On the one hand, that goes into gratitude, be grateful for, or receiving what you're asking for. And also, knowing your values, with the example with the tomatoes, do I want to have the bio tomatoes or the regional tomatoes or the greenhouse tomatoes or the cheap tomatoes, right? So what is your value system? So for example, when Corona came up, a lot of people smelled that with pharma companies, investing in pharma companies is going to make a lot of money. But if you do not agree with what they do or how they monetize their what they have, then you don't invest there. That is a value, right? So often money really shows where value goes. Okay. Yeah. The other thing, when you think about value, so there will be a different kind of value, for example, to ice cream. If you sell it on the French Riviera or the Italian Riviera, or let's say in a frosty November somewhere in foggy Switzerland, right? So there is different value to the same thing. That's why how you position the value, how you communicate the value is of utmost importance. And that's where my marketing knowledge comes in, right? You can have so much more value when you know how to communicate it, right? And that can be in just a, conversation. And again, that's what Billy does in the effortless sales mastery, or if you have a whole funnel explaining what value about your product or service. Okay, so that is the more value someone perceives. So that doesn't mean it's a fact. It's just that is the value they give. So the higher the value they perceive, the more money they will give you in exchange. Right? The second pillar is trust. Unless you trust a deal, there is not going to be a deal, right? So sometimes you see things, posts, opportunities, and you say, nah, that doesn't sound very aligned, right? And sometimes, yeah, so the thing is, trust comes from our early childhood. Again, it's a mindset, right? So you can learn trust, actually. As soon as you understand trust, you can shift your trust patterns. And the thing is, the more you trust a deal, the more deals you will make. The more likely is that you'll be going into this deal, or the more likely other people will be working with you if they trust you. And so understanding both marketing-wise and mindset-wise what those trust symbols or trust communicators are super important when you close a deal, right? And so those two are about how high of a deal, how big of a deal you can make. And the others are, and Billy touched upon it really quickly, about how do you willingly give and graciously receive. The more you give and the more you receive, the more deals you will make, right? So with willingly give is there's people that really hold on to their money. It's like, I need some money for rainy days. And guess what they manifest? Some rainy days. But there's other people say, I trust that universe has my back. I trust that this is a good opportunity. I trust to work with this person to really, get my money mindset through the roof. So that is where a deal feels really good, right? You see how they interplay with each other? So when you willingly give, it actually feels good. And haven't Sandy and I'm not sure who else, I think Bjorn talked about, the law of attraction, the law of vibration. The more you vibrate on, I give money because I know it's always going to come back, the more you're going to manifest money back. That's a fact, right? So just have a look at how you feel about giving. And that's also, blessings, cards, gifts. How rich do you give to other people? And then accordingly, when you go into the thought of a millionaire, do you think that it's actually aligned to what would a millionaire do? Right? Yeah, Liz says, willingly give and graciously receive. Yes, that is such a beautiful thing to the heart and to the mind. So the graciously receive part is also, money is one thing. And Billy in the Sales Master will tell you a story about how difficult people find it to actually ask for and accept money, okay? But how are you, let's say, with compliments? If I say, oh, you have a very nice shirt. So my previous me was, oh yeah, you too. So that is kind of returning the compliment. How about accepting the compliment? How about just saying, thank you. That's really kind of you, right? That is graciously receive. And if someone says, hey, I want to pay you, I want to work with you, say, oh yeah, it's just 7,500, right? It's just 12,500. It's just 50,000, right? So what number are you naming to feel comfortable? And that, again, goes into the belief, right? If I believe, if I know, if I can build the trust that when you send me 50,000, you're going to have real results. So how cool is that, right? So tomorrow I'm going to expand on those 4 money EQ pillars, because mastering them is really, each one of them is translating into money, okay? And also I want to expand your money mindset, because when I say, hey, look at this, how cool, and I'm going to show you how you can get them, I actually found those on the internet, right? That is 10,000. Who has ever seen this bill? So the question is, what can you make up your mind to manifest, right? Can you think bigger than you thought before? So that's the right place to be, right? So the secret that millionaires have is that they have a high money EQ and IQ, okay? They have a lot of knowledge about what they do. And it can be in one specific area and it can be in multiple areas. That doesn't matter, but they have the knowledge. Referring back to Billy, what is your talent, and monetize on that first, because as the more aligned you are, the more money you will manifest, right? And the second is the EQ. How comfortable do you feel around money? So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And if you have a question, we have a Zoom Q&A with me, and each of the coaches have their own Zoom calls or whatever. So if you have a question for me, you can join the Zoom call. Sheena is dropping the link into the chat, I guess. On Thursday, 1 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central European time, 8 a.m. Eastern time. where you can actually ask questions. So how does that work for me? Here we go. Sheena dropped a link. That said, on the Dare to be Rich, we're going to have an implementation workshop. So I'm going to give you a lot of inputs. You will want to be ready with the workbook that I'm going to send out ahead of time so that you can implement this right away. But for that, you have to get to the Dare to be Rich Summit, which I also asked Sheena to put into. Yeah, there is the third thing, that there is the Money EQ Masterclass that I'm going to host in my Facebook group, where we're actually going to talk 1 hour about each one of these pillars. So if you really want to get into it, so get into the Money EQ Masterclass. And the Mastery then is the follow-up program. If you like, for those who want to really master it, we're going to have a coaching call alone about each one of these, and you'll get these home. So, a quick recap. Be there tomorrow. I'm going to be there, same time, same place, and we're going to have a look at those 4 Money EQ pillars and how they play in your life. Come to the Dare to be Rich workshop, implementation workshop, where we're going to implement on a lot what we have talked about today. And also join me on the Money EQ Masterclass. Yes, so thank you so much, Sheena, for putting this all together. That was an amazing afternoon. I'm so blown away by all the information and content we got here. Thank you so
am
much.
I don't know how to absolutely sum it up, but I mean, from yourself, I noticed one of the things that you said about, it's all about money, but then there was one point when it was like, it's almost not about the money, because you just need to ask for what you want. Stop thinking about, I haven't got the money, so I can't have. You go, well, what do you want? And then the money will come. It's, it's the ideas, the dealing with the ideas, and that trades into money. And that's what the exciting thing is. You got to get out. You got to talk. You can't sit on your couch. You just can't sit on your couch.
Yeah, and if you can't see yourself, making the money, so go and have a coaching. It doesn't matter with whom of us that have been here today or other people, but get a coach and get out of the couch, as you say, right? Like, take action, dare to be rich. Come to our implementation summit that is going to be hosted in November, I think 4th to 8th. Oh, no, that's the time.
It's to the 12th of November. So yes, there's been so much going on this week, one thing at a time. Yeah. Awesome. Listen, Nadine, thank you so much for literally summarizing everything up there. It was just absolutely brilliant to have you on and showing us the money. Yay. Okay, thank you, Nadine. Goodbye. So, wow, what an amazing day. Listen, there's so much going on there, and I will speak about more of this tomorrow. But here's the things, the key messages I want you to take home from today. It's an inside job. Everybody said it. It's an inside job. It's all about your standards, your values, your beliefs. Stop being attached to the outcome, trusting yourself, aligning with what you want. Oh, and Sandy had said something about the spiritual, intellectual, and physical. You can't just do it on the intellectual. You got to know the spiritual, and you got to get the physical, and everything has got to be in alignment. Say yes to life and be guided by your passion and follow your joy. Stop being attached to security. It's not keeping you happy. It really isn't. And you know that because that's why you're on here watching it. So stop being secure. What is it Richard Branson said? He says, say yes, and then go out there and figure it out. That's how we are learning. Literally, Wolfgang and myself and everybody that you saw here, we're literally saying yes to life and going out there. And my goodness, that is when the magic happens. But here's the final thing I want you to think of. This is all about trusting yourself. Yes, trusting yourself. The more you know about you, the more you can trust. See, at the minute, don't trust yourself. Do not trust your emotional reactions. That was the best words that Dave Conway actually said to me. He said, don't trust yourself. Because we trust all these emotional reactions, their judgments and opinions. We've heard that the whole way through this. Leave you with a little story. The little bird, when it lands on a branch of a tree, it doesn't trust the branch of the tree to support it. It trusts its ability to fly away. Yeah. It's not about you trusting the outside world. It's not about you trusting the next deal. It's not about you trusting any of us. It is about you trusting you. And when you do that, you can be like nature itself. And it's just being itself. Like Karen's tree. It's just being itself. And that, my beautiful, beautiful friends and family all around the world, is where you want to be. And the world will be a so much better place when we can start being honest without the worry of offending somebody else. Who cares? Be you, and then you allow other people to be them. Thank you so much for being with us on this first part of the marathon. We're going to have a real rest now, and we're back on form again tomorrow, 4 o'clock UK time. That's 11 o'clock EST. I will see you then. Good night.